What is going on, everybody, and welcome to episode number 40. I think 4-0, man. We are almost over the hill, boys. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to feel old, man. This is,
It's been going on for a while now.
Yeah. I mean, this is
When's retirement age again?
Yeah, right.
65. We got to get to 65. But by the time we're able to do it, it'll probably end up being like 70, 75.
Yeah.
So,
we're like 25 away from that, 25 episodes.
I mean, in the podcast world, though, you never get to retire. We'll be doing this when we'll be doing this when we're Steven's age. So,
oh yeah.
But welcome in, everybody, and excited to be here. There's a lot to talk about, a lot of new games to talk about, on top of some serious news, obviously, and with that, we also have a new podcast link, guys. Hit !podcast in all of the channels. Check it out. It is our Anchor podcast. Enigma, what is it?
Anchor.fm/prepatch podcast.
There you go. Anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. Couldn't get any easier for you. No bit.lys, no nothing. All you gotta know is that is the anchor to find all of our content, at least for the podcast.
Literally. Got a lot of platforms on there too,
Yeah.
like all of them, like Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, and then like some others.
Yeah. So make sure to take a look at that, and check that link out. That actually link is more important than any other links that we have. So make sure to go and use that link, guys. That is the link going forward.
I didn't update mine. Oh fuck!
Wow.
And who
Jesus
put it all
Christ.
together.
Oh my God, man. Guys, we can do all the work that we need to make this show run properly, but we can't deal with an anchor like we have attached to our ankle, Mr. Enigma. No, anchor.fm.
That didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
I think
Slash
you need to
prepatch.
take
Shut
that back
up.
to the drawing board
Nobody
just a
asked.
little
You guys
bit.
are Look, man, I'm
That's all right.
tired, dude. I'm running off of like very few hours of sleep, and I've got
Jackal, Anchor, kind of.
and I got a 24-hour podcast
Yeah, the
coming up. So
same thing.
20
I think you need
fucking
to throw
stream,
the anchor
dude.
on
Oh
that
my
ship
God.
and rethink that.
All right, let's retake. You ready? Let's go. All right, welcome to episode number 40. Anyway, guys,
And I'm back.
it's gonna be.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here.
Yep.
See, you could have
Got
been
my-
here
got my
last
shot.
week, asshole. Anyway, the whole crew's here. Bill, myself, Enigma, Scruffy, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Make sure, guys, if you are listening to us on our new link, which is what, Enigma?
Anchor.fm/prepatch podcast.
There we go.
There we go.
But if you are listening there or on your favorite podcast app or Spotify or YouTube, and you want to join us live, we do this every other Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch, across all of our channels. You can !show, get the multi-link to be able to watch all of us live and get engaged in every single one of our chats. And we have chat up, we engage with you guys, we ask you questions at the end. So it's important for you guys to be here, so that you guys can know what's going on. And like I said, just really engage live with everything. So,
Speaking of engaging, I want to show you guys something.
You got
It finally
engaged.
came in. No.
Whoa.
Don't get that. Don't get that idea in Bay's head. But check out what came in finally. The Lady Demetresque Shaker Cup with
Oh.
the Maiden's Blood.
Now you get to put a milk in
Mommy
there, so it could be the
milkers?
real mommy
Hell
milkers.
Get that zoomed in there. I don't know if it's gonna be weird, but yeah.
We are not sponsored, by the way.
Lady Demetresque
Hashtag not ad. Hashtag not ad.
Not sponsored
bad.
by Mommy Milkers, though we wish we were.
I mean-
The G Fuel's pretty good too. It's I don't know if you guys like lychee berry, but it's lychee, pear, and watermelon.
Huh. So it is good though. Like, because I was gonna,
It's good.
I was gonna order it, but like the last time I ordered one of their flavors was like the demon one. For
Yeah, spicy demon
and
egg.
that shit is fucking hot. Like,
I have a question.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a question. What the fuck is a lychee pear?
Lychee, it's some fruit. Lychee fruit is a small round fruit with a sweet white scented flesh.
Yeah, it does.
Wait, what
large
is
scent-
what is
What?
the scent of white? Like what?
That's
What?
That's what I'm trying to
I don't wanna say it.
So
We're
the-
getting,
wanna
we're getting into some real dangerous territories,
We're
boys.
thinking it, though.
I'm confused, man. I'm confused.
Getting-
it looks like no other okay, so you know the fruits that have like the little hairs coming off the outside of them?
It's most
It's
fruit, but
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like
these
a
are like
peach.
long hairs. Like long hairs.
All right, now that I
Like the-
derailed that, let's get back on track.
Yeah. Let's back to it.
Let's leave it off on white scent.
I just want it to be known that I did not derail this podcast first. I need
Bro,
it
like
to- I need it
let's
to
be real.
known.
I derail the podcast about 90% of the time.
Yeah,
What
I
the-
mean, we alternate. We all get a chance to derail.
I mean, it's
at every
okay. Look, you know
podcast.
what? Look, the chat gets engaged in what's going on in our lives. Like the reality of
Yeah,
what
Show him a lychee berry.
of what show them a lychee berry. You act like I'm a fucking studio on demand.
Or a
What the
lychee
fuck?
fruit.
Yeah, come on.
What
Bring it up.
is this?
Bring up
Like
the-
What
Bring
the
up the
fuck
lychee
is
berry.
this, man?
Jesus
You're supposed to be
Christ.
the producer. You're supposed to
Oh
have
my
this
God,
shit
yeah.
on tap like that.
Fucking
No.
show them a lychee berry.
Can we be real? We need to hire like a man in the background though.
I thought that was what we hired fucking Sin for. Like
Yeah.
I thought that was the whole thing.
When is
Bro,
it?
Sin couldn't stay in the background if he tried.
When is it that when you hire someone and they have to pay for all this shit? What is that fucking crap? That is bullshit.
That's just good business.
Oh my god.
Good business.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just never mind. All right. Anyway,
Let's get back to it.
yeah, no, but what I was gonna say is that it's good to get off track every once in a while because you know why? It lets you guys know that we are real people, we are real streamers, and realistically, this is the realest podcast you're gonna find, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's out in the podcast universe. And I'll fight a motherfucker whoever tells me differently. I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's Drop Frames. I don't care if it's fucking Giant Bombcast. I don't care any of them. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Tell me you got a better podcast. I'll fight you because that's just the way it is. Like.
I'm
Fight
still
you.
I'm still standing by the term that we allegedly shut down Joe Rogan for sponsorship of our podcast on his podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
That
was-
is like a strawberry plum with like scaly skin.
Are we still
What
talking
is-
about
what
the
even
lychee
is
berry?
that? Sorry, he posted a picture in the podcast.
Guys,
description.
welcome
I'm
to
looking at
welcome to the
and
pre-packed
white-
fruitcast.
and a white scent.
it. And the white, I see the white scent actually.
I'm gonna, well, since we're all holding up drinks, I'm gonna hold up my drink again. Also, hashtag not ad, but these things are amazing, man. It's on TikTok. Look, I don't buy a lot of shit, but you know what? I'm sure. Look,
Is that the one with the flavor?
yes,
cartridge?
dude, and it's a fucking amazing. It
We
legitimately is
really
amazing.
do need an editor so that I can be like, hey editor, yo, put up like an image of me holding an Arby's cup because that's what I got.
Yeah,
That
there you
was
go.
I mean, I'm just saying,
I-
it's really good. Like, it
I
actually
got
is very
nothing
good.
this time.
They have like coffee flavor. They've got wild berry fruit punch. It's pretty amazing. And you know what? It's better than Magic Spoon because that shit sucks. and
I also see the
Magic
bang
Spoon.
beside you, not sponsored.
Yeah, no, there's a bang over here. I'm saving the rest
Oh.
of this for tomorrow because I'm gonna.
Oh,
Yeah.
and speaking of anchor.fm/prepatch podcast, the latest podcast will be coming up here fairly shortly. I am currently transferring all those into MP3, so they'll be uploaded within the next couple days.
I'll
There we
take
go.
some blame for that. I was late on the game, so
There we go.
you get a pass this time.
I'm gonna blame you.
Blame
Yeah.
me. Do it.
It's the easier term, or it's the easier way of dealing things, other than
Just put the
blaming
blame
it
on somebody
myself.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
should we get into the podcast?
Yeah, probably should. Unless we
So
wanna
you know,
talk
I was
about-
I
hold on,
tried.
we gotta show the gummy bears off.
Yeah.
of
We
course.
doing food and drink reviews
Yeah,
now.
I
Like
mean,
we
look,
need
man,
to do
we're
a,
due-
we need to do
we
a
done-
movie podcast. Now we're doing a food.
We
and
still
drink
got to get to
review
the anime
podcast.
podcast. I did not watch all 3 animes. I was able to watch at least 2 of them, but I did not watch all 3. And we eventually need to get
To
back
be completely honest, we didn't think you'd make
nobody
it
would
through
care.
two.
Hey, you know what? You
Yeah,
should be proud.
honestly.
I tried. I just can't. I can't do it.
We'll talk about it later.
Anyway, I cut things from the show to be able to save time, and we have wasted all of that.
Yep.
So, normally though, chat, we do start off our segments with Twitch drama, YouTube drama. Some people got banned, whatever. But honestly, we need to save time because there's a lot of other stuff to talk about. That's more important than honestly whatever fucking streamer's getting banned for doing dumb shit
It's nothing
On-
new. That's every day.
on Twitch,
That's just
or
a-
whatever. So,
It's a daily on Twitch.
Yeah.
woo, woo.
Bless you.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna move right into what's playing or what we've been playing. And yeah, I'm actually gonna start off here. Normally we start off with the kind of row going from myself to Enigma to Bill to Scruff, but in this case, we're actually gonna start on the other side of the table, and we're gonna start with
Yeah.
good old Mr. Scruffy. He has been playing a game called Black Skylands. So yeah,
Yeah.
what is this? What is this game?
It's a really cool game, man. So I honestly had no idea what I was running into when I just saw it. Like I literally, and the funniest thing, I found this game from a Facebook ad of all places, and I'm like, this looks like some mobile game or some random game that I'm never gonna care. But I saw it was on Steam. I checked it out, and I should have pulled it up, but the Tiny Build I think publishes the game, and
Tiny Build
they
is
make some
great.
they
Yeah.
publish some good games. This game
Like the
is like
Escapist,
a
right?
combination of like a Stardew Valley mixed with like an isometric shooter. and it's actually really cool. As you can see, it's like as top down can be, but they pull it off so well, and it's so fluent. You're pretty much this character. And actually, a better way, is anybody familiar with the game
It's like Enter the
Guns of
Gungeon.
Icarus?
Oh no.
Yeah, I am.
Dude, this game is like a 2D
That
Guns
was
of
such a
Icarus.
good game, bro.
Yeah.
They let that go because
let it
it just
go.
there wasn't enough of a it was too
It was a
much of a
niche. It was a
niche.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
exactly.
a very niche player base, but that was such a fun game. And
Yeah.
I watched you playing this a couple times. It did look really fun. I watched you and I think Crow Templar was playing it.
Crow played it as well. It's a really cool game and a really cool concept. You're pretty much just like this sky pirate that's going to all these islands and clearing them of like raiders. And then it goes even deeper than that. I haven't even got to the like there's like aliens and shit. I haven't even got to the aliens yet, but like you're clearing these islands, and then all while doing this you're like pretty much upgrading your mothership, or I think they call it a fathership. And that's kind of where the Stardew Valley aspect comes into play, because you build factories, you build farms, and then you kind of build like a community around that. And the game, like as you're seeing right here, it's almost like a 2D Tarkov gun style. Like you got all these mods for guns and everything that enhance it, do different things. And you can even like combine I think like skills to go with guns as well. And if you skip ahead a little bit, you could probably find some like combat and stuff.
Is it once you die, is it roguelike in that element, or is it no? Is it not?
No, it's constant progression. It's a story game. Once you die, you pretty much just get sent back to like a checkpoint area where you have to go back and clear that island again. But the cool thing is like once you clear an island of everybody, it becomes then your island, and your community builds and you gather more people. But you have to maintain those islands because raiders will come and try to take them back over. So
I like the ship mechanic that I'm seeing.
it's really sweet actually. It's got like a drifty kind of feel to it, like Tokyo Drift style.
So what do you do? What do you so
mhm.
right now you're for everybody that's listening and not on the actual the live stream, but,
Right. So
you're like have your airship and you're like docking other ships. Are these like enemy ships that you're docking, or
these are right now we're docking like stagnant, like just like lost ships, and you can get like loot and stuff from them.
Okay.
But there will be like enemy airships that come to attack you and stuff. You don't really dock them, you pretty much just fight them. As you can see, like on video right now, you have 2 cannons on your ship that you use to fight other airships, and also things on the islands as well. But you can also dock your ship at islands and invade them, and you like use a scrapple hook to get around and everything, and just shoot things up. It's really cool, and it actually feels super fluent.
This is so much different from other tiny build games though, because I remembered that I played a game by that studio and I couldn't remember what it was. They did Hello Neighbor, but they also were the ones who did Hellpoint.
So this is, well, it's published by Tiny Build. This is actually the developer of this is
Oh,
Hungry Couch Games, I think.
gotcha. Okay,
And I don't
makes
think
more
they've
sense
made
then.
too many other games. Or
It's-
they worked on Graveyard Keeper. That was it.
okay.
And Graveyard
Keeper's
Keeper is a
dope
good
too.
game. That's another Stardew Valley-esque game.
Yeah.
This has got a very like Enter the Gungeon vibe to me. I mean,
Yeah,
at least when I saw
That's
you
what I was trying to think of. That
on the
that
land,
style.
like like right now, like here you're like on the land and you're going around shooting. It's very much reminds me of like Enter the Gungeon. I mean, is it a bullet? It's not a bullet hell though, right? Like
It gets to be a bullet hell because it does have gun like mechanics that Enter the Gungeon had, to where like your dodge roll will evade bullets, and when I got into like a boss fight, there was like a spirals of bullets going around. So there are certain instances where it becomes a bullet hell. Yeah.
I love the 2D to 3D effect also from like the blimps and like the trees kind of like stick up from the flat surface. Like
That's what I was saying.
got
They
a good-
do it so well.
nice graphical texture.
Yeah, it's got a really cool perspective to it.
How much is this game?
$20.
20. Nice.
Hey,
I mean,
that's
it's
a pretty good deal.
What's crazy is like, and you'll see it as we continue to go. You're gonna see a lot of top-down isometrics, and we talked about it. Myself and Enigma specifically talked about just kind of how top-down games are making like a
Crazy
huge
how many of them are
comeback.
out there right now.
Yeah.
And I think that, and what I love about them is when you look at these, because I mean, this is one of my favorite genres. It's just I guess not genres, but perspectives. It's the top-down perspective. because it lets you appreciate a lot more things, in my opinion, than just like the first person to do. But is like the aesthetic difference between all of them, right? Like as you can, as you know, as chat that's here live is gonna be able to see, like between this and Tribes and some of these other games that we've been playing, like they're just wildly different, aesthetically, and they each have their own like really beautiful things. So, and I think top-down games like this lend themselves so good to this type of combat where it's like, a bullet hell style, just to me, it's like being, I don't know, man. It's just, it's a whole other like genre or like, my brain's not fucking working. Like, way to play games. And if you have not, if you're not like a huge fan or you haven't played a top-down isometric game in a while, like you really should try it. And try some of these games that we're going to show tonight, or just ping some of us on Twitter and ask, because we all have played them at length, and we could give you some great recommendations. And usually they're cheap, man. Like $20. Like I think all of these games, the most expensive one I think is going to be the last one that we show, and I think that's still like $26, yeah, at most.
30,
so.
And it's on sale even right now too,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
But
So, that's cool. So I mean, how much time have you put into to Black Skylands?
I think about like 10 to 14 hours or so. And I've got a decent ways through. I've cleared like a few islands, but it's a pretty fairly big game. And the like replayability comes in with like your islands being invaded and you building your father's ship up and gathering more materials as they come.
Yeah.
So
Is it a procedurally, like once it's done, is it done, or is there like
so the map is not procedurally generated. The map is how it is.
Okay.
Nothing really changes about it. So you might not get too much replayability out of like a procedural generation, but it's got enough in there, I think, that'll last you a good money's worth.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. It's a good game.
Awesome.
Check
And
it
it's Black Skylands. You can get it on Steam for $20. Go check it out right now, guys, or at least wishlist it.
Shizzle.
So moving on, we are going to jump over to New World. So this is a game actually that myself, Enigma, and Scruffy have all been playing. And it is, I mean, we're not alone. It's taken the world kind of by storm here, and it's also gone through a lot of tumultuous stuff, between myself and Enigma really like going from trying this game to then hating this game to now kind of on board with it. There's a lot here, and there's a lot to kind of unpack. So I'm going to start off with, I think I've probably put in the most amount of time right now into the game. Maybe Enigma, you actually might have gotten, I
actually have put more time into it than you, but just by barely.
On there. So I know, Enigma, you were, well, I mean, we were both very like adamantly against this game.
I'm still like don't get me wrong, like I'm still very kind of on the fence about it. Like I like what I have seen and what I've played so far. Like I will eat the crow and put my foot in my mouth and say that I think that the changes that they've done since the last beta that I played, which was a long fucking time ago because the assholes fucking removed my access and removed it from my fucking goddamn machine. Not mad about that at all. But from what I played then to what I played now within the last couple days, it's definitely gotten better. Like 100% gotten better. It actually feels like it has somewhat of a direction now.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing about it, and here's where a lot of animosity kind of started. And what New World is. Let's explain that first and foremost. So New World is a MMO, or MMORPG. It's from the developers of Amazon Games. So that automatically,
Jeff Bezos went up into space, and the aliens gave him the knowledge.
And a giant penis, by the way.
And
a giant penis.
Yeah.
So the thing about it, it's an MMORPG from Amazon Games. That already sets the tone for like, kind of concern.
That's a red flag.
Right? Yep, that's red flag number one, because Amazon Games has gone 3 for 3 in starting their games and then shutting them down. And them not being supported or being big pieces of shit. So when New World was first announced, it was like, MMO, survival, like gathering, PvP, all this stuff, right? And then they released this alpha, which was Enigma was part of, and it was just
It was
nothing.
toxic,
I mean, it was just
man.
nothing.
It was
Like,
terrible.
yeah.
Like I think that we talked about it at one point. Like I literally logged in, got berated by like 2 5-year-olds that were like, and then got called the N bomb like 16 times, and I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm logging out. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
It's one of these things where, so that's where it started, right? And it was like it didn't have an identity. It didn't know what it wanted to be. Wait and let it stew, and it sat for a couple years, like a year or two or whatever, a couple years, I don't know. And then it comes
years,
to still alpha / beta about a year ago. And I got into it then. I played it. There were things about it that I enjoyed, but ultimately, like, there were some fundamental flaws. It still didn't know what it wanted to be. There was no real PvE content. It was changed into being solely a PvP based game with the ability to go out and kill mobs, right? And it had this like very rough husk of like a questing kind of thing. But there really was no quest. Like it did not really exist. And it was the combat was fun, but there were some serious flaws in the combat system. So that shut down, and needless to say, it got a shit ton of flack from a lot of people. You had people that were out there that were like, this is going to be great. It's, awesome and whatever. But it was still kind of like, nah. So we then fast forward to when it was supposed to be released, it gets pushed. So now that's red flag number 3 or 2, I guess, technically, if we don't count the alpha and the beta. That now this is like, okay, it got pushed. This is complete shit. Like, it's probably not going to be a good game. We're just expecting the same thing. And then
we weren't even confident it was going to launch.
Yeah, I mean, I was not confident that I'm then hitting this August 31st date.
Can I be real? I'm still not entirely confident that they're going to hit the August 31st date.
I think they will.
I think that they're going to push it back at least a little bit. Because I'll get into it later, but I still think that it has a lot of work to do. I still think they have a little bit of work to do on the questing system. I still think they have a little bit of work to do on the combat system. I think
it's tough to tell. They definitely do have a lot of work to do, but I honestly believe they're gonna push it out August 31st, and it's just gonna be a rough launch.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, with the recent, actually, no, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't doubt that.
Because that's how they've done their other games.
Yeah.
See, I don't know how. I think the servers will be a little rough, but I don't know if. I mean, there's a few. Okay, we'll get into some of the.
Like I said, I didn't want to bring it up too much because we were going to get into it later. But yeah,
the other side that brings up red flags was the whole. If you saw their posts, if you saw their tweets, if you saw their talk, their AMAs, all this other kind of shit, it went up saying, hey, we're not adding in any kind of, boosts or anything like that with the at launch. Like the phrase that hung the fucking nail and hung the picture on the wall was at launch, right?
Yeah.
So like everyone is like, whoa, what does that mean? Right. Or whatever. So
everybody else was like, whoa, what does that mean? I know exactly what it means. It means that they have every intention of putting those in the game, just later on down the road when it's socially acceptable for us to do.
So with that, right? I don't have a problem with boosts necessarily being added. And we're gonna talk about boosts, and we're gonna talk about Blizzard. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of shit down the line. But boosts being added into the game, I don't have necessarily an issue. I don't want to see pay to win mechanics in the sense that someone is going to be able to buy weapons, buy gear, or buy crafting materials or things like that. You want to buy a boost to get yourself up to fucking 60, which is the max level in this game. Sure, whatever.
Yeah, but that's not the kind of boost that they're planning on giving. From everything that we've heard, they're planning on giving like boosts for gathering mats. What's it called? Gathering outcomes and boost for experience gains and boost for XP gains for PvP and shit. Like that's what everybody's thinking. I don't know if it's thinking or if that's
I haven't seen any stuff about those specific boosts as to what they're doing, but in any case, I don't care if they add just a boost to level, whatever. It's been in fucking games forever. So But getting to the game, so we get into the beta. The beta launches. One, they also, to myself, to Plagued, to Enigma, they went in and we had alpha beta access to this game, and then it was forcefully removed. And when I say forcefully removed, I'm talking like Enigma had it installed on his
Wiped.
computer.
It was
and
deleted
was
from my
gone.
hard drive.
Like it was gone.
Like removed from my hard drive while I was asleep.
That is impressive.
They said they don't want no freeloaders here. You gotta pay for the game.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is that I got access in. Like I got access to it as like
Fucking
and
ridiculous,
they
man.
fired that guy who gave you
Yeah.
access. They're like, you weren't
Probably.
supposed to do that.
it just showed back up one day like in my fucking inventory. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
the
okay.
worst part about it is like, and like I've had a couple people where I've been talking on the discussions in Steam, and they're like, oh, you can't prove that you had access. I have a fucking screenshot of me buying the game and getting the alpha, and I have 4 hours in the alpha.
Yeah.
If I didn't have access to it, how would I have 4 hours in the fucking alpha?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or the beta already.
I had VODs of me playing it before, so like that existed. So that was that all of that. So again, now we fast forward to playing the game. They've altered a lot of stuff. They changed a lot of stuff. They've added dungeons. They've added they, in my opinion, tuned some of the combat system. And the big thing here about the combat, this is not your tab target. It's an action-based game. It is a PvP MMO. I mean, that is what this game is. It is not, really centered around just PvE content. You can just do PvE content, but the whole thing about it is like your PvP or PvE content and stuff that you're doing is funneling into your factions, which you choose 3 different factions. They're at war over this land. Controlling the land gives you bonuses and buffs and things like that. What we're assuming and we're thinking is that controlling the land is also going to in turn feed places to where you can only get to like certain raid content, certain dungeons and things of that nature. So it's going to kind of fuel that fire of like, hey, you need to be doing PvP stuff or contributing to your faction and doing the PvE faction based content. And so,
Have any of you guys done any of the war stuff yet?
I did not participate in a war. I participated in quite a bit of PvP. I have watched some of the war content with it.
I hear the war content's really fucky right now on how
Oh,
they're
God.
like choosing and like
So what I saw was that and I don't know if this was a glitch or an issue or if it's built like this, but you can only have a certain amount of people actually in the war.
Right.
But because it's an open world setting, the war is happening in the open world. So then if you go and like they have set up to be like a 50v50 and you sign up for the war, if you're not the one signed up and you go flagged as PvP, you will instantly get warped out and like it will warp you, back. So again,
So you can't enter that part of the world.
Wow.
you can't like it. Yeah, it's like you can't participate in
can't
that.
go in with PvP in mind.
With PvP,
Right.
I guess.
So I disagree in that element. Like, I don't think that should be a thing. Like, to me, if we're declaring war, like it should be, if I'm a faction, I'm rolling by and I'm like, oh shit, there's a war happening. I flag up
Sign me up. Yeah.
and let's go, like I said, I don't know if that is actually, how that, is working or whatnot. Or if that system, if that's how
It
it
is
is.
100% how that's working, and
Is that, but I don't know if that's
also
how
how
it's
they're-
supposed to be, is what I'm saying. I don't know if it's like
Oh.
a glitch that they need to fix or whatever, but
I don't know. All I know is my dude Crow Templar's like level 44, and he's tried for every war to like get into it, and he's still yet to be like picked for a war fight.
Really?
yeah.
Crazy.
It's,
There's
is,
people-
is it
there's people
first
like
come, first
level-
serve, and it just going by so fast?
Yeah, you sign up on a
I-
war board. So the way it works is so it's not only you have your factions, but then you also have your companies, and your companies are made up of individual people, and your companies will actually hold a fort. And so your company, a faction can go declare war, a company can go declare war on another company that is an opposing faction. And the thing is that you go to a war board and sign up for it. So it's not just whoever shows up at the land first. You actually sign up like on a message it's a board. You put your name down, it tells
Yeah.
you when and where the time it's going to be. You sign up and then you go.
Yeah.
And it's first come,
But,
first
like,
serve.
Is it first come first serve? I was thinking that there was something like fucky about like higher like some way of like choosing
roulette.
people.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you sign up, you put your name on the board, right? And then
Yeah.
on there, it's still it technically is first come first serve, but the person in charge of the company that declared war, if the company is the one that declared war,
Gotcha.
can go in there and
They're
be
the
like,
ones that are choosing who
boot
comes
this one,
into it.
put that one in there, right? So that's
That
where
explains
So it's like high school or
Yeah,
middle
it's high school drama
dodgeball
all over
over
again.
again, and then they're looking for the LeBron Jameses, not the not the tiny wimpy kid.
So I do want
Yeah.
to
Well, that's the thing. Any order that he's put in for, there's people like level like 10 to 20 that are fighting in it, and he's level 43. Like I want to fight.
Probably
Right.
probably part of the
company.
what's it called, the company.
Yeah. So I do
Yeah.
want to point out one thing that I love about this game, and it gives me very much of like the WildStar vibes again of feeling like important in an MMO is the PvP content, and like if you're in the channel, you're watching it now live. But basically what you're seeing if you're not watching is myself lower level going up against a very higher level character. I believe this person's like in like level 32 or 35 or something like that. Now I am losing, but I am also holding my own. And the thing about this game, or about this, is that, and there are people that are bitching, and I really hope they don't change this, is that, for instance, like Crow Templar, he's level 40 something. I'm level 20. If I go up against him, there are a lot of bigger streamers, content creators. They're like, "Oh, I put in more hours, and I'm fucking 40, and I should just be able to pub stomp the shit out of like 12s, or whatever else." And that's not the case. Like, if you are good at the combat and you know how to actually, do combos appropriately, time your moves, almost treat it like a fighting game, you can beat, pretty much anybody. The thing that they're upset about is they're like, "Oh, well, it's equalizing out like damage or whatnot." But the thing that they don't equalize is the fact that a higher level character has abilities, they have their attributes, they have their like when I say attributes, I mean like weapon attributes, so weapon perks and things like that added to the game that I'm not going to get because I'm not that high enough level. So like, yeah, you're bitching because damage, is mitigated in a way, but at the same time, like, you have way more powerful gear and access to abilities that I don't have because I am not that level. So I'm sorry, but to all of these large streamers that are getting pub stomped, and they're like, "Well, I've put in this many hours, I know the game." Well, you obviously don't know your character class. You don't know how to play that game. So and characters only get 6 total of abilities. You have each weapon has its own ability. And this is a game where, like Final Fantasy, one character can do them all. You can be a ranger, you can be a mage, you can be it's all weapons based on what you do. And there's a heavy instance on crafting as well. Crafting is a very large thing, but to get to the point that I wanted to say of what they mainly have changed a lot in this game is they have added dungeon content. And
So it's an MMO now.
Yes, it's an MMO. Unlike
Confirmed.
Black Desert just became an MMO.
I
which
was
is,
about
Yeah,
to say,
just
hashtag it's an
became one.
MMO now.
yeah, Black
Yep.
Desert just became an MMO. But New World, they did add dungeons. And that was what I was concerned the most about, was like, did they just make this a tank and spank? And the first dungeon I have heard and I've watched is very tutorial. It's kind of tank and spank, teaching you how to go through it. I have watched and
I've
heard.
heard a couple of them are like that.
They're-
Like, is there any mechanics at all?
Yes,
There
the
are.
higher up dungeons are fucking rough, and if you don't know what you're
The-
doing, you will get your
Yeah,
shit
the
kicked
last
in.
the 5th dungeon, I think is what it was, is the last dungeon that you can do in the beta right now.
Yeah.
Apparently is just like plumb full of fucking like traps
Yeah.
and puzzles and shit that you got to go through.
Yep. And it was confirmed via Asmongold on their show that they are in fact they are introducing raids. There is raid content that is coming for this. That and again, the cool thing about it is like all of that stuff that you're doing feeds back into your faction. So if you don't ever want to flag for PvP, you don't ever have to do it. And trust me, we played on the Syndicate, and I swear to God, they're a bunch of fucking pussies, dude. They never fucking flag for PvP.
Man.
I would go out and I'd be like, flagged for PvP, because if you're flagged for PvP content and you get a kill on PvP, that goes into your faction. Syndicate never flags. Never
They
flags.
just want to dance in the town.
They
They're-
just
let them
they're-
dance, bro.
They're a bunch of Cinda bitches.
Yeah, it's fucking, I don't know, man. But again, we could spend a long time talking about New World. Obviously, the game's gonna come out on the 31st. It is buy to play once you own it. Yes, thank you, J10. great example of Syndicate being certified pussies. But it's look, man, it takes all types, right? Dicks and pussies make the world go round. I mean, that's just that's how the world is populated. Anyway, it comes out on the 31st. It's buy to play. Once you own it, you own it. That's it. It's done. And there's no subscription model to it. So
until they put one in.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they'll put a subscription model in at all. But
I don't think they'll do that. But
or a
I
battle pass or
they already have a battle
more of
pass,
that
don't they?
shit.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's no battle pass.
No.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I thought I remembered one, but there will be one.
No.
Every
Of
game
course.
has a battle
So,
pass now.
But yeah. So anyway, New World, you'll see a lot of it, I'm sure, on my channel once it comes out. And I'm sure you'll see Scruffy and Enigma playing it as well.
I'm
Watch
just
the binge
curious.
of it, man.
I'm curious to see if they flush it out a little bit more before the release date, because like I said, like it's in a good state right now, but I think that the combat is still a little janky in some instances.
I think
The
there's some
questing is
balancing
still a little
issues as well.
janky. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it's
like,
got a little bit more work to do before they hit that August whatever.
they nerfed the
Yeah.
hatchet, which is nice.
They really
Yeah.
did
They nerfed-
though.
They
really did. Like
dude,
they nerfed
I
the- they
played
nerfed-
that
they-
hatchet during beta, man.
I was about to say they nerfed the throwing, but like the hatchet is still OP as fuck.
Well, all the weapons up close are fucking disgusting if you know what you're doing. But
Oh,
those,
the hatchet is still OP as shit.
I heard
You-
the
you-
battle
you
axe is
literally-
the new hatchet.
Dude,
dude.
that battle axe
literally
is
pop
nasty.
fucking rage and can just wail on somebody for the next 20 seconds, basically.
that battle axe is disgusting. What I'll actually tell you, honest to God, is the new hatchet is that rapier. That rapier, the ability to just sit there and riposte, because when you riposte, it automatically stops the attack that the other person is doing. You then get an attack of opportunity and are invincible. So like,
You're pretty much Fiora.
yeah, it's rough going against that damn thing. But the battle axes, all the weapons have a good feel to them. -1, I don't think the ice gauntlet feels good at all.
Really, I thought I liked the ice gauntlet. I thought that felt pretty good.
I honestly am not a fan of any of the magic, to be completely
I like
honest.
I mean, I've seen the life
I'm
stuff.
more
in
of
the
a
raids,
fan
I
of the
enjoy.
magic than I thought I would be.
Really,
Like I picked up the healing, the life magic staff,
stuff, yeah.
and I actually dug it. And I don't care. Maybe it's just because of the sound it makes. It goes like
It's
kerplunk,
legitimately
kerplunk.
just because you like the sound. That's
It's a fun sound, and it's fun. It's fun when I hit. I mean,
Scruffy's over there going. It made a weird-
okay,
but do I need any more reason if I'm having fun with it? You know, I think it's cool. And honestly, I've never really been a healer in games, and I toyed around. You know, I ran a few like around the world with J-Tan, and I was healing him and stuff as he was doing like most of the work, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's what I will say two things is that the sound in this game is amazing. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but like some people are like, nah, I don't think it's good. I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, when you're walking around and you're hearing like trees fall, people chopping trees, people hitting stone, shooting, like
The gathering, the
It's-
shooting, all the combat
yeah.
mechanics, and the clinks from the swords. Like I think it's pretty
great.
good.
And also aesthetically, the game is a very beautiful game. Like, and I love
With
this setting.
I think you see that's where I'm gonna disagree because everything I've watched, it seems like everything kind of like washes together and it all seems kind of bland in the end.
Well,
There's
I
not
like the
enough
setting of
variety.
it, like the Renaissance kind of setting. I dig that because you don't see many games like that. And
You know,
I
it's a cool era for that
But
kind of thing. I just
The color.
wish
I
there
don't
was
think
some
it
very
needs to. The color
There it is,
palette maybe
yeah.
could need a little bit brightening, but not too much because I don't think it needs to be such a bright game.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right
Like
now.
every other fantasy game out there that does all this flashy shit like solo.
I
You don't
have
need that.
I have come over a mountaintop to see the sunrise and over one of these forests. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, it's gorgeous. And so
I'm glad you're impressed by a skybox.
it's not the skybox, Bill. God,
It's the ray tracing, Bill.
It's no, I mean it's just like this
I'm
area
sure
that
everything
this
looks
this
good on a 3090.
this well, I
Yeah,
mean,
unless it
look,
bricks it.
unless it fucking bricks, yeah, unless it burns the shit out. You know, but no, I mean, I think the color in the game, like, there's a lot of, like, I think that there's a lot of diversity
Maybe it's
to
just
it.
my stupid fucking eyes because it's all fucking red and green, and that just
I
is
mean,
dull
I
to a
think
colorblind bastard like myself.
I think the setting, it sets itself to be like this very, like, kind of not monochromatic because there are a lot of diversity in things that you see. But I mean, again, we're talking wolves. You know, there's some fantasy elements in there, but I like the whole like real like setting of it. It's different than high fantasy. Like we always get these high fantasy MMOs or
Yeah.
sci-fi
I
MMOs.
I agree with you on that one. Like I do like the setting of it, and straight from the start when they first announced it, the kind of crusader almost, you know, like Spanish inquistador, you know, or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. I like that vibe. I really did, and I do see what you're talking about though. Like it is extremely dark, but I don't think that they could make any more of the light palette for
Yeah,
the kind of macabre
because it works.
background for it. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, again,
I get you.
if I would have picked a video that would have shown some of the starting area, again, there are a lot of like prettier colors, like, and there are there is a lot of diversity. I went into one area that was like a fucking graveyard, like death area, and it was just like wisps and clouds and shit and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, this is where we're at. And then
I
I've
personally blame my eyes on it, probably just.
No,
from the-
you are correct. It is a very bland,
Yeah, but I'm
colored
thinking
game
like
in some areas.
I enjoy the Souls games, and those games are also of a monochromatic variety.
They
But
are.
I think the graphics on those like have more depth of variety to it. At
I
least
think with the
from, like,
Souls game
environment-
is
at least with
the
environment. I can't talk tonight.
the
Fucking
structures and everything else with the Souls games. They do a lot with the Souls games
and-
compared to
and-
this.
and,
This is open. This is forestry, you know, farm fields and all that sort of thing. Then you will have your. I never made it to like those crazy locations or anything that I've seen on the map, but I can imagine that they're pretty nice looking.
Is this
but-
better, Bill? I found a spot with light. I mean,
again, that's what I was about to say. Is like legitimately like the intro to this game. You have two different fucking biomes. You have a forest,
Literally,
and
yeah,
you have a rocky mountain. Those are the only two biomes that you get at the opening.
Okay.
yeah.
Later on down the road, you run into some like ruins that are like really bright and kind of more of a fantasy style. But
Yeah.
But that's just
You know what this
MMOs,
looks
dude.
like? It looks like The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
The Witcher 3 has good graphics, but I was never blown away by them.
again, it's
Yeah.
it's a macabre. It's kind of meant to be a macabre setting, right?
I mean,
like you
yeah,
can't have
I
a macabre
gotcha.
setting
Yeah.
with fucking pastel colors. Like it just
Yeah.
doesn't fucking work.
yeah.
It's like a rustic feel to it.
But it is
I getcha.
again,
Okay.
what they do, what they shine at, they shine really well. There is some areas that still need improvement, and stuff. And but I mean, what game
I
doesn't?
enjoy the crafting.
Yeah,
I
the
enjoyed the
crafting is
crafting a lot more
good.
than I thought I was going
The
to.
Is there fishing?
Yes,
There is fishing. Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's fixed or something like
yeah,
that.
there-
too.
there was a bug
it's-
with
there
it.
wasn't anything wrong with it when I did it.
But also
Yeah.
too, like the fishing in the game, I've heard is extremely fun. But the thing, even the crafting, like gathering, like even though it's the same shit that you get, I mean, you do in every
The
fucking
gathering
MMO,
is
it's
fun,
just-
dude.
Yeah, in this game, there's something about the gathering. It just feels different. Like, and maybe it's
Yeah.
because they show that fucking number that like, oh, I got to hit 50 gathering to get it, and like you're like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna go and chop down all these trees. And on top of that, when I chop down a tree, it actually engages in the world. So like, I legitimately, there was a dude that was hiding behind a tree in PvP, and somebody went up and cut down the fucking tree that he was hiding behind. I could then shoot him, and I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. And then there was one where a dude was running away from me, and a guy happened to cut down the tree, and it just happened to fall in his path and blocked the dude out, so he couldn't run straight. And I was able to catch up to him, and I was like, yes, like that is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not they thought about that in the game, it's just an element that's there that does feel good.
That's a big brain if they actually thought about it.
They didn't. They were just like,
I think you're
I think it was a
giving
happy
Amazon
accident.
way too
it was,
much.
it was
yeah.
definitely a happy
Yeah.
accident. But yeah, the game again, it's fun for, you know, it's $40. You know, it's a lot in a sense of the cost. But if you're talking about,
tell you,
you know,
I'll tell you what Crow told me. If you're still on the fence about it, go buy it on Steam. It's
Have
a
until the
different
second.
it's a separate launcher. You can download the beta, play the beta for the remainder of the time that you have left on it, which I think it ends Tuesday,
yeah, it's
Yeah,
until
I
the
believe.
second. Yeah.
And if you don't like it at that point, fucking refund it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's two separate instances. So you have no playtime on the main game. All you have playtime on is the beta. And if you don't like the game on the beta, I mean, I don't think they're really going to be changing it all that much in what, a month?
No,
Not-
this is
not
pretty
even a
well what you're
month?
getting.
Yeah.
Another concern I've heard, and this is dragging the conversation out just a little bit longer, is do you think there's enough content for this game for when it comes out? I know the beta doesn't show everything that the game has to offer, but do you think there is enough longevity to
So-
keep people engaged in it up until the next content drop happens.
So we
Or a
get,
speedrunner, I don't think so.
I mean,
like
for like your Asmon goals and people like that, no.
No.
For your
But
standard like MMO gamer, I don't think so.
see, I
Like
so
the standards that like get in there, fucking try and get to end game as quick as possible. I think they're gonna run out of things to do.
by
extremely
standard,
quickly.
yeah. Like if you're gonna breeze through the game, skip everything, I don't think there's enough.
So word on the street is that we got 5 dungeons this time. There are 25 dungeons total that are set
Okay.
for release.
Is that gonna be on launch?
On launch?
Did they say on
that's what
okay.
that's what the rumor is, that right now
The
is
rumor, yeah.
25 on launch, and that
About that.
I mean the source came from a pretty credible source. But
Let's see. I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
But then-
Well, you don't trust a lot, but I can
well,
understand.
the
It's
reason
healthy
I
to
have
be
a very good
skeptical,
reason
though.
why I don't
I
trust it. They
know.
literally put the fucking dungeons in 3 months ago. How did they get fucking 25 dungeons in 3 months?
I mean it's doable. Like
The only way that they
Well,
could have gotten
as long as
25
they're not
dungeons,
redundant.
it's
yeah, that's what I
Amazon,
was
man.
about to say. The only way that they could have gotten 25 dungeons is if those dungeons are literally copy and paste
pastas.
half of them.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know.
And I
I'm
would
just
really
saying.
hope
All
for
I'm
not.
saying is that there's 25 is what the rumor is, and that the continent that we got basically 3/4 of the continent that there's on launch
No.
will be larger. I don't know if that statement holds up true. I do know that if you actually go to look at the map, there is a chunk of the map, I think off to the left. It's either left or right, one of those two. But that there's a section that you can go to that then like becomes kind of in this. It becomes all of a sudden red and hazy. And then it stops.
So it's like
you.
an all-out
It's-
corruption.
it's like an invisible wall that they're saying is where the other 1/4 of that continent is going to be opened up.
No.
You know, again, we'll see.
I have heard that we don't have all the weapons as well. We're
Yeah.
apparently getting like 3 or 4 more weapons. I think.
Yeah.
Like we have, I what was it? It was clubs, a pistol, and
You just got
something else.
slapped in the ass.
Dude, that corruption area is fucking rough, man. And by a tentacle, Bill. Tentacles in the game.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
They need what they
Um,
need is another focus-based weapon, because I was looking. The only focus-based weapon is the life magic staff. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Again,
The
oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
the last thing I wanted to bring up was I wasn't impressed with like dungeon bosses and stuff. It all seemed very similar with like guy in middle of room with like other things like in hallways around. They all looked very samey almost. Like I was watching a mage dungeon boss, and then I was watching some big armored dude dungeon boss, and I don't know mechanics wise if they're that much different, but
I don't know. I mean, I'm so used to just dungeons kind of being all us like get out of the way, dodge here, move here, or whatever. I mean, Final Fantasy does a good job, but I don't think holding any game to Final Fantasy standards of ways that dungeons and things should be done.
Oh,
Or,
whoa! Because you bitched about Solo being the same just like 2 weeks ago.
I know. I'm not saying. I'm saying I'm used to it. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just
Okay.
saying that I'm used to that,
Well,
that
but
style.
that's what I'm saying is
Like,
you're saying
yeah.
you're used to it today, but like 2 weeks ago you were saying that you were mad at Solo because the dungeons were all the same.
No,
And
I was
that's
mad.
where-
I'm mad at Solo because the in-game dungeons, like once you reach max level, are just the same 5
Well,
dungeons or whatever.
that's all
not,
that this game is going to be. It's all going to be the same.
I mean, I haven't seen
and
them. I
that's
haven't
what's
seen
got
them.
me concerned about like the 25 dungeon goal.
Yeah.
that
If
you
they're all the
said.
same thing, then that's
is-
not going to be good.
Yeah, because I saw very little variety from the couple of dungeons that I did see. It may have just been a bad sample size, but
It might have been like I have heard good things about the 5th dungeon, but I personally haven't done it, and I personally haven't watched anybody do it. I
If
have
that's
heard that
one
a
out
lot
of
of
5 dungeons.
yeah,
that's in
I
the
have
game.
I have heard that a lot of people are not digging the 1st dungeon or the 2nd dungeon because they're extremely boring and they're very monotonous. That's
Yeah.
a-
I also
That's
wish
what
they
I've
would have
personally
broke
heard.
free of the Holy Trinity. Like I know that that's fucking almost impossible to do with games like this, but
Yeah, but if you break free from the Holy
It's-
Trinity, then you've got another what's it called?
Look at ESO, man. When ESO first
yeah,
launched,
ESO.
and they didn't have it. It was
it's
bad.
just
Yeah.
hectic. It's just chaotic.
Yeah, it's just bad.
You legitimately, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for it. You legitimately have to have the Holy Trinity in MMO.
Yeah,
You can't get away from it.
I don't like games without the whole. I don't like MMOs without the Holy Trinity, unfortunately. But yeah.
In my opinion, I should say you can't get rid of it.
So yeah, so that's New World again, $40. It's in beta right now if you want to check it out. You do have to buy it to get the beta. you know, you'll be able to play it until the second. If you don't like it, cancel it, get refunded, like Enigma said.
Get that shit off your fucking system like they removed it off mine.
You know, but I think you can, if you are a fan of MMOs and you're lacking stuff right now, you know, to play $40, I think you'll get $40 worth of value out of it.
I think so.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
on there. So
I think I've got like 30 hours in it right now.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
So moving on to the next one, is Death's Door. So Death's Door is another top-down isometric game. This is I saw this at E3. It was done by what's the name of the publishers? Devolver Digital. And it's
I didn't know this was
Great
Devolver.
publishers.
Yep, Devolver Digital.
Love them.
Game, and it is a Souls-like
Published.
mixture of like Hollow Knight meets like your I said it on stream.
Oh, Titan Souls. That's what this developer made. Titan
Yeah.
Souls was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
This looks very Titan Souls. Is the bow the only weapon you have?
No, you have several different weapons, and the different magic abilities that you can get. It's just right now, this is very early in the game, and I have just a bow.
Gotcha.
But
this puzzle and everything just screams Titan Souls because there's
Yeah.
a shoot the arrow through the fire puzzle in that.
Yep.
as
Yeah,
well.
there
Yeah.
was.
That's neat.
Honestly,
I
it
love
reminds me
Titan
of
Souls also.
it reminds me a lot of what's that Hades? The Hades. It kind of reminds me of
Hades.
Hades. Yeah.
kind of the only thing about Hades is room based. This is
Yeah.
not. This is
I'm
yeah.
just saying that the combat reminds me heavily of like Hades.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, it's a so the whole thing about this is that you play as this crow, or that is working for basically the Reapers. You are a Reaper. They don't really start you off a lot with like story. It's just basically, hey, Crow, Reaper, go gather souls, right? And the kind of premise behind it is that you are working. What I'm kind of gathering is that you're working for death, and basically you are there to transition people from death to the afterlife. And what you're going after are people that have found ways to sustain, once they have died, sustained life past death, essentially. And they're in this world where you have to go and actually find them and, bring and basically gather their soul and bring them back across the line to be put to rest, essentially. But the game it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's on a difficulty level, like it's definitely not like the Dead Cells or in the vein of like I think Hollow Knight honestly is harder than this. This is
Hollow Knight's harder than most games. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Here.
It's
I'm gonna have to make a quick correction as well for you. He's not a crow. He's a chimkin.
okay, a chimkin, yeah,
Oh,
as we
there you
call
go.
it on my stream is chimkins. But there are a lot of cool little elements to it. Like again, the puzzling in the game is really good. Like you saw where you had fire, and you have to light the arrow, which that's not uncommon in a lot of these games. But a lot of different variety of enemy types. Some of the other puzzles that you get to later on is rough. I love the aesthetic of this game. Like you can see, like they're very like you go from an area that is when you're in the Reaper world, it's completely black and white, with a little bit of splash of like small little colors, like a flower may have a color to it, right? Then you go into this world which just is vibrant and brilliant, has a bunch of different colors. The levels are very different, and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, there's a leveling up to it. It's just a good game. I mean, it really is, and it's like $17 right now, I think, on Steam, and. It's a good to me, it's a good intro into these style of games if you are a fan of like Souls likes. And it, like I said, it is a roguelike, it is a Souls like. You die, Metroidvania. As you progress the world, you die, you go back, boost yourself up level wise, and then you keep going. It's labeled as a roguelike, which is a mistag because roguelike means that you die and you start from scratch. You don't start from scratch with this, like when you die.
Roguelike is one of those tags that is just kind
Yeah.
of thrown around these
Yeah.
days. It's
Yeah, if it looks any
like
similar
it's
to
like survival.
an
Survival's on
isometric,
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's it's a lot of fun. It's a great intro into the game. It runs insanely well. Death's Door, go check it out, man. I mean, I can't like and I will say the boss mechanics are awesome. I don't know if you guys have seen me fight on the bosses, but I fought like
I watched you fight the granny. Or
yeah, the
whatever,
granny
and that was-
boss,
that
and
was
there's
crazy,
like
man.
Gosh.
they have a couple different like phases and things like that. Again, nothing like super crazy over the top, but like the good thing about this versus things like Hollow Knight or like Dark Souls and the Soul and Bloodborne is that Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Hollow Knight all like give you the feeling of like you're gonna get fucked, like you're gonna get fucked, or whatnot. And it is a fight to be like, okay, this is that like.
What you're saying is this is like baby's first Dark Souls.
I think I just think it's a very good like intro into these types of games. Because it is
It's like Dark Souls with training wheels.
Yeah, I mean there's a difficulty to it, and you will get, you will die, but at the same time, like it's where you're like, you know what, man, I know what I need to do. I can go in there and do it. You know what I mean? And beat it. So it's fun. It's whimsical. It's great. I think it's a phenomenal game.
I had fun watching you play it the other night.
Yeah, I'm excited to
I enjoyed
finish
it
for sure. So then moving on, Mr. Bill, you played a game. Actually, we all have played, and it's super. I super love the fact that we are all playing a game together. But yeah, good old Tribes of Midgar. This is a game that Enigma Enigma claims that he turned us all onto it. We saw it during the bullshit. We saw it during E3.
I will go to my death
Oh
bed.
That's
my
fine.
gosh.
You can go to your death. We saw it during E3. I put it on my wish list the day that I saw it on E3. Bill, talk to us about Tribes of Midgar. You are muted. You are muted, bud.
He was so excited that he just couldn't get it out.
So it's another top-down isometric. It's got some survival type mechanics like Don't Starve. It's got a base building tower defense almost aspect on a night cycle. In Don't Starve, whenever night comes in, you gotta huddle around a light source and all that shit. In this one, you go back to your town and you have to defend it from hell things that attack. And if they destroyed like the core of your town, which is the seat of Yggdrasil, it's run over.
It goes
But-
supernova. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And as the days go on, the nights get longer and stuff like that.
Yes,
And there's
they
a
do.
bunch of world events that will keep things interesting. The class system seems pretty decent so far. I've only unlocked a few of them, but it's all right. The skill trees, in my opinion, leave a little to be desired, but that might just be off of the initial classes.
Problem with their skill trees is that you can only have 10 levels, so it's like you can't really
Yeah.
do a whole lot. Like 10
You
is
have
the
to
max
choose
level.
the path you go down
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
carefully.
which I like that more than I like being able to fill everything in.
Yeah.
My biggest issue is none of it feels like I'm for some reason on a kick recently where I just hate skill trees that are stat boosts. Like, give me something interactive, give me something impactful that's actually going to change up my play style instead of just like, oh yeah, you're going to get 25%.
get 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's.
you
I mean,
get 'em.
even in the
I
warrior
unlocked-
class,
I-
there's some.
Yeah, I unlocked the seer last night, and like the seer's big thing is like it boosts your attack speed. And I was flinging my fucking axe around last night, like
Yeah, the
But
ranger,
fast,
fast.
the
But
ranger,
even, like,
I
the
just don't want it
warrior
to be
class-
like, oh, you're gonna spec into this element and this weapon type.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like,
that's-
like
that's
25% bonus to sword, 25% bonus to electric. That's your build.
Those
Congratulations.
That's
those
your
were
start usually.
yeah, those were your starter classes. Like I know that what was the one that you were using the other day? The not the shield guy, but the other one.
You're talking about
Sentinel.
the Sentinel? Me?
Yeah, the Sentinel.
Yeah.
Doesn't that have like
Oh, yeah.
like shield throws?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit?
yeah. I was gonna say, like, your first two classes, even like your first three classes,
Mhm.
even though the Sentinel or Warden, no, fuck, what is
Sentinel.
it? Sentinel, right? No. The one
Sentinel's
above.
the first one. Warden's the second one.
Yeah.
Like as far as the tanks go.
Wait, what?
No, Warden is the first one. Sentinel's second. Because I played Sentinel. Yeah, Warden. The first tank one. It's like your first three abilities, first three classes: Ranger, Warrior, and then Warden. What we think, or whatever the fuck the name of that one is. Guardian, I think, is actually its name.
Guardian, it is
It
Guardian, yeah.
is it's pretty like they don't really give you much. Like it is that stat boost that you're talking about, Bill. There the Guardian has some abilities that are a little bit better, but like the Sentinel, I get like a shield throw, I get a fucking like a regen over time. I get one where I cast my shields all around me and they're just constantly stunning shit. Like I know this Enigma unlocked the Seer and it opened a whole world of like new abilities and things.
I feel like the Seer is like a must-have. This game, just if the name wasn't enough, it's Tribes of Midgar, so it's meant to be played in a group setting with at least one other person. But the more you can get in there, the better. It does have like difficulty scaling based on group size, but
it's like Risk of Rain, kind of. You know, Risk of Rain, you'll have your characters that are very group oriented, but then you might also have like probably the Seer is a good solo class.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I was looking at the Warden or whatever the one was that you get for finishing off the 15 days. I can't remember what it was called.
That is
is that the Warden? Yeah, that one is extremely support class. Okay, the abilities on that, it's literally it can craft 20% more, or it can craft without using 20%, with 20% less
resources
materials used.
Yeah,
and it can go and sell for 20% more. You know, so it's a very group oriented, non-combat almost. You know, so it's one of those things where you if you have them in your clan, or in your tribe, it's going to be nice because then you can go out and you can kind of send them out to get cheap stuff from the vendors.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you still have to have warriors that are doing the combat.
I mean, I was gonna say don't sleep on the warrior class
don't.
though. Just
100%.
to think it's just a stat class for the skill tree, because actually the warrior, and I used it a couple times. It also has like in the skill tree like things that'll you can self revive if you go down. You can unlock that. You can unlock the ability to evade and negate damage. You're invulnerable during the evade.
I think you said it last night. I think I honestly do think Warrior is one of the more rounded out classes.
It's a balanced class, and even you build mana when using weapons to use your abilities with those weapons, and if you were to switch between your weapons, you lose that mana per weapon. But as a warrior, you can go down the skill tree to pretty much not lose that mana, so you keep that mana stored in each weapon to use your abilities. And I think that's another great thing. So I think the warrior is like I said, a pretty well-rounded class. It's got a lot to it, and it's not just your stat boosts really.
Right.
Well, I mean,
yeah, the game's good. The game's real good. The base building aspect is actually something I was more intrigued by than I expected to be. You can level up the people in your town, both to increase the tier of stuff that you can craft or buy from them, but also it increases their like combat prowess. So whenever the hell things come in, they will actually run out and fight with you to defend.
Didn't know their levels did that.
Yeah,
helped with that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Well, they get new abilities and stuff like that too.
I'll tell you one thing that I kind of wish that they allowed you to do, and it's like crafting more of those archer towers and shit. Like I wish
around, like in other areas?
like outside. I wish that they would have embraced, and not a whole lot, but I wish that they would have embraced the tower defense a little bit more and allowed you to like be able to funnel. Like funnel the funnel.
You still have a short way that you can.
You do.
Funnel them.
They do have the ability to with like the walls and shit.
Yeah, because we've not even really scratched that surface. And from what, and I actually
none of us have really touched crafting.
I did some research on. Well, we went. So the day-night cycle, real quick. We played a full run. So we've been playing just these like quick kill a Jotun, because one of the things that happens, which I don't know, Bill, if you talked about it, but
I have not.
A Jotun shows up. So you go through the day-night cycle, and as you can see, if you're watching the stream, there's a clock that goes up in the top right-hand corner. Once it gets to nighttime, it's like, hey, get back to the base, defend. And basically, in 3 different points, these hell spawns will, or hell things will spawn and basically go to attack your tree. While doing that, you also have these events going on, which are like a Jotun spawning, which is a massive fucking ice, void, electric, or fire giant. I mean, if you're familiar with Nordic mythology or mythos, or Greek mythos, really, I mean, you know, like they are the big ass gods that show up to fucking lay waste to whatever is there. and you have to kill them. And when I'm talking about giants, we're talking like 75,000 health on the first run. When they get to the final run on day 15, and by the way, there's only night and there is no day, and you just have to survive, you're talking 500,000 health. Like, it is insane.
It's rough. And you need to coordinate so well because at the same time you still have to protect your tree from the hell things at night, but you also have to worry about the invading doom that is the Jotun that is marching towards your base.
And when the
it's
Jotun
like-
gets to your base, he basically 10 seconds and it's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
He'll wreck
RKOs your
right through
base.
your defenses. He'll wreck right through your towers, and
Yeah.
He
The-
Randy Orton's that shit.
Speaking of that shit, like last night, I wish you would have been able to do the 15 days with us because that was hectic as fuck.
Oh,
Man.
God,
Like, we
dude.
got to day 14, and it was entirely night.
Yeah, all night.
All
There
night.
was no
All
daytime.
night.
There was a
Yep.
Jotun halfway to our base, and day 15 rolls around, and I'm sitting there in the base looking at the doors, and I'm like, bro, these guys are fucking breaking our doors. We
Yeah.
can't go and fight the Jotun. Like none of us can go out and grab that Jotun. Like there's no way that we can do it. I keep saying Jotun because I'm a fucking a stupid American that continuously pronounces the mythology incorrectly. But like all of us could not go out and fight the Jotun. Two of us had to stay inside of the base to fight off the hell things, right?
Yeah.
And that Jotun is getting closer and closer, and Sin's the only one out there, and he's getting fucking wrecked in one
Yeah.
shot. I got wrecked in one shot. We're barely doing any fucking damage. to
Even
that
when
thing.
I joined Sin, we still weren't doing enough to
We're
stop it.
barely doing any damage to that thing, and he's coming closer and closer, and I'm like, guys, we need to fucking go right now.
And that's the good thing about this game.
you
So
were
if,
hightailing
these-
it to the
These
bypass.
assholes are over there like, nah, bro, we got it. We're good. And I'm like, dude, you've barely shaved off a sliver of his fucking
We
health.
took down over 100,000 of his health. So
we got him a decent amount.
100,000 of 80k.
no,
But
it was-
but that's the thing about this game
For
too is
1,000 of
is
80K.
the saga mode that we're playing. It has this like mechanic to where I believe you have to kill a Jotun to
once,
unlock the ability to actually leave and not complete the
Yeah, you
run,
do.
but to end it on a good note, to end it where
To
your
get the
tree is
horns.
alive.
In order to get the horns, you have to kill a Jotun.
To
in
get
order
your horns, to get
open
your
the
XP
Bifrost.
and your rewards. Yeah, that is how you do it. You have to exit through the Bifrost after defeating at least one Jotun. The more Jotuns you kill, then the more reward and XP you will get.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Is if it's getting shady, getting sketchy like that, you can be like, we're out, we're dipping. We cut our losses and we're going.
yeah. And
I was sweating, man. Like
And there
you
is
you guys kept being like, "Nah, we could take it." I'm like, "Bro, no, we can't."
Well, we had two sides of things. We were over there. We weren't seeing how the base was.
I'm sitting there watching them take down the door, and I'm like, "No, I'm telling you right now, we can't."
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can find.
And there
it.
is
I
there is an official like final boss of the saga,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like, you,
the whole thing is like the first season, they're going to be doing seasons.
There was a Jotun.
And each season features a main boss at the end of the saga mode, right? So the first saga is Fenrir. And spoiler alert, it's in all of their fucking their videos and everything like that. So we know that it's Fenrir.
It's the Wolf Saga. That's
It's the
literally
Wolf
what it's
Saga.
called.
We know it's Fenrir. So that's the boss. You don't have to like kill all the Jotuns from what I've seen. You just have to
build the
fix
bridge,
the
right?
bridge. Yeah, you
Yeah.
only have to fix the bridge, and then you can get across there. But he is tough, dude.
But
He
that's the thing
so
is you
hard.
probably do want to kill a
Yeah.
good amount of
You want to kill at
Jotuns,
least like
because
2 or
when you
3.
kill a Jotun, you gather their it's like Monster Hunter. After you kill a certain monster, you get their like life essence, so you can create that style of weapon. You know, you'll have the fire-based weapons, your cold-based weapons, depending on each Jotun you kill.
And you can get fucked. You can get real fucked real quick if you don't fucking
Oh,
have. Like last night, we got fucked because we had an ice Jotun. We didn't have the fire biome, or we hadn't found it yet, and so it was like we had no fire weapons. And it was
Yeah,
just
you have
like,
to use the
ugh.
elements against each other to really be an impact against the Jotuns.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this too is that so you have the saga mode, but then they also did a survival mode as well, where you that is like your typical always on game. The cool thing about what they did with the survival mode, and where there's not like a quote unquote kind of like end point, you just survive as long as you possibly can, is that there is it's hosted server side, which is crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but like in so many games now, like if I'm not on or I'm hosting the world, you guys can't play in it. But what it
Yeah.
does is this game essentially goes and says, "Hey, I'm hosting the world. You now have that seed, and if you can be on it whenever you want. And if you're on, the world's progressing. If no one's on, it stops. And everybody can jump in and do what they want. And like
Don't let
it
the world
keeps it-
end though.
Yeah. But again, you got
it
it
bleeds
has a
once the
7
world
days to
ends.
die element
Yeah.
where if you decide you want to go big dick, you will get fucked because guess what? Like it just doesn't scale back down. Like it's just like, oh, this
Are
is
we sure though yet? I'm still wondering if it
I can
scales depending on the current player
So I can
base.
tell you that I played offline whenever me and Enigma had set up a survival world that had that seed, and that bitch was difficult. That was not the same kind of difficulty that I was facing with a one
Yeah.
person.
So I think that's something they should try to incorporate is that scaling depending on server base population. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean the other cool thing about this is it's 10 people. Like again, we very rarely like Red Solstice does it, with 7 or 8 or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
Very rarely do you get to a point where like you have games that allow for that much co-op. And this allows for 10 people to be, in
Pretty
co-op.
legit.
Yeah. So, it's good, man. It's a really fun game.
Don't believe the Steam reviews.
Yeah, please
Steam
don't.
reviews are trash. Just
Yep.
check the game out and get information on it from credible sources and see if you'll like it that way.
Yeah, it's getting like mixed reviews on Steam, and these are people that are bitching about it because they're saying like there's not enough the combat or some I don't know, man. They got misled. They thought that it was gonna be something, which I'll tell you, like even when I watched it first time, I was like, oh, this is just an action RPG game. But then when you get into it, you're like, oh no, this is a lot. Like this is like a lot of games put together, done well. There's some issues. There's some, there are some glitches, that need to kind of get fixed.
My
here and there.
biggest issue with the game right now is it's got that like 3D aspect to a lot of the terrain and stuff. And if you're in a base, enemies can very easily be like blocked by the terrain of the base or like trees and
Yeah.
stuff. Just be getting destroyed by something that you can't see, and if you can't see it, you can't fight it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Not only that, but like there's certain points. I had an instance of it the other night. I was playing with a Solid Light and a Taxi, or not just Solid Light, I think. I got killed by one of the enemies, and my chest like landed on top of a tiki,
Yeah.
or like a totem, and I couldn't get it.
Yeah. Which
There's some weird things like that. Also, there's like a collision meshing issue to where enemies will be able to shoot you through walls, some walls and
you can
barriers.
too. Which those are all
with
easy
certain
fixes.
things you can with your abilities. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you can't
But-
do an arrow. Arrows won't go through walls.
I don't think
arrows don't
No,
penetrate
arrows
now.
stick.
I don't.
Their
I don't
arrows
do
go
that.
through it, but
Their
yours don't.
arrows, yeah.
So there are things that need to get worked on. Those are easy. There's a very small fixes. Again,
Yeah.
from a very small studio that put this together. And the price point that it is, again, I think it's like $20. It's a lot here. There's a lot to do. The game is pretty deep, respectively.
It's challenging.
And
It's
it's hard.
surprisingly very difficult.
Yep. And if you have a group of friends to play with, it makes it even better. And I mean, I think it's worth it. I think it's well worth it. And
Yep.
they do have a battle pass, but it's free. There is a store, but it's all cosmetic based, except there are
Runes.
recipes and runes that show up
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the game. There is a little bit of an issue there in the fact that like if you didn't get it, we haven't seen yet how quickly they come back because for instance
Yeah.
like day 1 was a Raider Axe 3.
The runes that's up on a daily rotation.
Right, but I'm
So
saying how
worst
soon.
comes
But
to
how
worst.
fast it goes through that rotation?
Yeah,
a
but
full
that's
rotation to
what
come
I'm
back.
saying. For the weapons at least, it's going to be a quick rotation for the weapons because there's not as many weapons as there are runes.
Right.
But
What I think they should have done is went down the path because the way you buy those runes and weapons is through things you earn in game, which
Yeah.
is great. It's not you don't have to buy them with real money. They should have done something like that For the King does, like with the
agree. Yeah.
book, the lore system. You get the books, you buy it through an actual item shop based on the things you will then find in game.
Yeah.
I think they should have went down that path and kept just the shop as a cosmetic base.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the way we have gotten around it, and you can get around it, and I don't know whether they're going to fix this or not or whatnot. But like, if I have purchased the Raider axe, I can create the Raider axe and just drop it and be like,
Yeah.
"Cool, here you go. Here's the Raider axe. Here, have one."
Yeah.
You know, kind
So
of.
there's
thing.
that.
But it's still a flaw. But anyway, $20, great game. Another top-down isometric. That is now 3.
Repeating theme tonight.
Out of the 4 games that we've shown.
I turned everybody onto it. You can't
my
make me. You
God.
can't make my mind change.
It doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
So,
man.
but yeah, take a look at it, guys. You know, whether you're watching it on our streams or you want to try it out for yourselves, $20 Steam. Tribes of Midgar is that. Finally, another top-down isometric game. It actually came out today. We will most likely be talking about this game on the next show as we will get more into it.
I didn't get a lot of playtime into it, unfortunately.
It is called The Ascent. So first things first, it's a very beautiful game. It is it's an Unreal Engine game. So that's, you know, it is what it is. On there. Everything looks wet, you know, and has this aesthetic to it. This is a 4-person co-op Diablo style shooter game. And it's based in a cyberpunk world, like a cyberpunk universe, not the cyberpunk world. This cyberpunk world and the way that they've done things is what CD Projekt Red wishes they could have done with Cyberpunk's game itself, and just the overall aesthetic and thing that you can do. I mean, there's a fucking shit ton of characters on screen. You can just bump into them and fucking they're all doing their own thing. That world feels very alive on here.
Honestly, the most alive I've actually felt out of games recently.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of NPCs that
It's
show up on
awesome.
screen. It's kind of crazy. So there is a lot to this game as far as depth is concerned when it comes to character progression, character creation, items, inventory, different things you can do. I mean, there's like electrical, there's kinetic, there's like 6 different fucking weapon variations and weapon types. There's 3 or 4, there's 4, nope. I think there's 8 total different characteristics that you're upgrading and adjusting. There's augments, there's grenades, there's weapons, there's armor, there's you know, a cyber deck abilities. There's just a plethora of shit to go through. It is kind of, at the start of it, is a little overwhelming because they do an okay job of kind of you know, easing you into this stuff by basically saying, hey, here you go, here's a tutorial, you can just sing it here. But they're like, hey, here's an ability, this is how you use it, kind of. But they don't go in depth of being like, this is like your cybernetic stuff, this is like, you're gonna have to like play with it and learn with it and like really pay attention to it. I will say that aesthetically the game is fun, or good looking. The gameplay is fun.
It works
when it works. You know, it's a little bit of a rough launch. And what I think makes me more mad is this is getting like very, very positive reviews. And you've got something like Tribes of Midgar that, in my opinion, worked better than this. And it's getting mixed reviews. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
That is the cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Motif.
But we had a hell of a lot of issues playing together, co-op. I think single player, I didn't have any issues. Co-op had some issues.
Yeah,
sure.
I think they've got some stuff they need to iron out because like it was rough.
It seems like they've based it off single player and just tried their best to add the co-op from that model.
And that's it doesn't work. Like
I've
it's a
heard
problem.
people calling this the Hades of this year.
No, absolutely not. Unless they change a
Really?
lot of shit, absolutely not. I do not agree with that.
I've heard nothing but rave and like
That was what I had heard.
like it is like ridiculously positively.
I am glad it's getting positive
I had
reviews,
not
but-
seen any bad reviews on this, and then when I picked it up,
That's
I was like, "This is
surprising,
rough,
though.
man. Like this is actually a little rough." I'm
it's-
surprised because of the shitstorm that they gave Cyberpunk. And granted, Cyberpunk deserved it, but this game is pretty fucking rough, man.
You know,
Yeah.
to compare this to Hades is a travesty to Hades. That's not fair. Like Hades came out shit worked. It was, I mean, again, early access all the way up. But maybe they should have early access this game, like, because it still feels early access, like in the bugs that we're talking about. Like we
The
had
bugs.
like
The world is perfect.
Yeah.
It comes down to the mechanics and the gameplay.
Gorgeous.
yeah, like and again, keep in mind 12-person team. You know what I mean? Like very small team. But it's I don't know. We had problems where like people wouldn't load in. We had people where people would load in and they freeze.
Well, it's like I died and then the entire game broke and just shut down.
Well,
yeah, so they have it so where if one of your team members goes down and fully dies, you all restart from a checkpoint.
But
is
then
no
we didn't
bringing.
restart. It like literally just hung
That's
up on
yeah.
the fucking loading
That
screen.
one time that happened, it pretty much exited us out, and it just hard locked.
Yeah.
So
and to a point, like I loaded up my game, so I had my single player game. I was ahead of where they were at. I loaded up into their world, and then when I got to the point where I was at, all of the markers went away. Like everything went away, and or whatnot. And so, and to the point that then when I loaded up just a single player game of that instance, everything was still fucking gone. So like it's I had to remember where I had to go to unlock the mission to kickstart it back again. There's issues where, and one of the things like loot is not instance based, and it is whatever's on the ground.
So-
If you pick it up, you pick it up.
Well, no, that thing, me and Solid, we played a little bit after. We tested the loot. So, yes, it is not like instant base. One person picks it up, but it's shared throughout everybody. One person picks a gun up, everybody gets that gun.
That's not true.
No, it is.
Well,
tested it out.
we also did it because I picked up an ice.
No,
I
we
picked up
tested it out multiple times. It might have been bugging those times. It didn't happen
well,
with
all
me
right.
and Solid. We picked up guns. They're also, you can pick up multiple of guns, so might have been something you just didn't see it right. I don't know, but
no, this was a cyber deck. So I picked up a cyber deck. Enigma did not get that cyber deck.
Ice pick.
Yeah, the ice pick.
Yeah, ice pick.
I think I actually did get it, and I was looking at the wrong place.
Yeah, but Enigma didn't. That's what
but
I'm saying.
I know I'm saying that could have just been down to a bug.
I don't know.
I don't. Again, like you said, they do not really explain things very well, so I might have been looking in the wrong place.
I mean, and there are, and again, so that's I'm saying all this to say, like, it's not a bad game. It's just there are, to compare it to Hades is fucking atrocious. That is not fair at all. And
there's a few Metacritic reviews that are kind of sounding off.
GameStop, I think it was
gave it a
GameStop
6,
at least, right?
yeah.
I think GameStop or one of them gave it like a 6 out of 10.
GameSpot?
GameSpot gave it a 6 out of 10.
I'm gonna say GameStop.
Yeah, like this review that I'm reading, it's basically echoing exactly what you're saying. The world building is appealing visually, but it is ultimately unsatisfying. The lack of replayability, broken co-op system, bugs, and unbalanced enemy difficulty makes it tough to appreciate the positives.
Yeah. That is one thing that I heard and that I was a little worried about. But then again, I've also heard that the game is fairly long. Like it's not a short game.
It seems to be. It's pretty much like almost an open world game. You're in this like open world cyberpunk city.
The problem with it is that there's no like new game plus. There's nothing to do after you beat the game.
Yeah.
Right.
So
the hope there is that they will.
I'm hoping that they'll implement some kind of like new game plus or some kind of like exploration mode like you have in like Diablo, where you just you're let out on the world and you can just kind of do whatever the fuck you want. That would be cool, but
this is one of the other issues too that we're showing here. You just saw it on screen, but like essentially if one person goes into an area like the morgue, for instance, that is like a instanced area.
It's weird too. It's not every area that does that. No, it's like the morgue and a few other places.
It drags the entire team, no matter what the fuck you're doing. It drags everybody to there, and you could be in the middle of like buying something, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?" So
it really does feel like it was built to be a single player game. Then they were like, "Oh, we've got the architecture to make it a multiplayer. Let's make it a co-op as well."
100% was, because even the way the missions work. I was hosting the server earlier with me and Solid and you guys playing, and so pretty much as the host, I can see the missions, and that's it. I even if Solid he accepted a mission, he went to his mission log, it wasn't there, but it accepted it for me. So the nice thing is at least you complete the mission, and it is if as long as he participates in that mission and completing it, he will get the benefits of it as well. So there's that, but he just won't see it coming up in his mission log. But that's the thing. Like you do something, it goes to the host. You pick something up,
That's weird.
it goes to everybody, but probably because they just have it on a shared system because there's
it's-
no other way to do it.
The sad thing about it is like it's starting to feel again. We've only played maybe an hour,
3
2
hours.
hours
I think you played,
max.
like,
of
Yeah.
2
this,
hours of it. Yeah.
2 hours,
So
yeah.
you know, we will. I plan on talking about this game more next show to really
Yeah.
feel to get a feel for it, and understanding of it. But it does feel right now that as a single player experience, it's fucking amazing. As a co-op
Mhm.
experience, it's an afterthought. Like, and it's kind of rough right now. We'll see. Again, world is amazing. Can I say I put my stamp of approval to go buy it? I would just wait until we get a time to like really play it.
Oh,
Wait.
and the one thing you got to remember is it is on your Xbox Game Pass. You
Yeah,
can't
Game
play
Pass,
co-op
$5.
with people that are on Steam through the Xbox Game Pass, but it is on Xbox Game Pass.
I'm sure other Xbox Game Pass users. Though,
Yeah, you
could-
can play co-op with other Xbox Game Pass users, but
Yeah.
there's no
No
cross
cross,
compatibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's that. It's what, $30? No, 20. How much is
$30
this?
bucks.
30
This is,
bucks?
30 bucks.
Yep.
That's a little rough.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think so. I think for what you get, I think it's a pretty enough game. I think it's
When
a
when
fun
it gets
game.
all polished, if it gets all polished, I think it'd be the worth of 30.
Yeah.
If
but-
it was a $60 game,
Oh,
like a
fuck
full
no.
price
no.
game,
Oh, no.
Absolutely
No.
not.
I wouldn't have bought it.
But yeah, but we'll see. On Steam, The Ascent. Go check it out if you want.
Yep.
Go there. All right. So now comes into the news, and I have just realized that we have fucking
30 minutes.
We're
yes.
just getting
Yeah.
into the meat and the bones now.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, so we're gonna cut a couple of this stuff out. By the way, real quick, guys, just so you know, Pokemon Unite came out. If you are interested in Pokemon Unite, it is a MOBA for Pokemon. It's on the
Baby's first
it's
MOBA.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about here's the thing about Pokemon Unite. And the end all be all. It is baby's first MOBA. If you are a League player, a Dota player going into this, you'll play
stomp.
you'll play it because like my question goes, why would you not just play Wild Rift? Because that's the better version of this game.
Gengar's
And the other thing about it is 100% pay to win. Absolutely a pay to win game.
That's surprising. It's Nintendo.
You go in and it is you
I
get
said
these
it, Bill's chat.
you get these items and they you can dump real world money to level the items up, which give you a clear advantage over other people. I watched it happen live on stream with Moist Critical. Literally bought these items and then dumped like $200 into the game to boost his items all the way to
It's
max,
bad.
and then that's it. The sad thing is the game could probably have done well without those kind of things, like just because it's Pokemon and people would play it, like whatever. But yeah, the game, like whatever. It's free if you want to go try it. I don't know why. Just go fucking play League if you want to play a MOBA. I don't know, or play Wild Rift on a phone. Wild Rift on a phone is fucking amazing. It's great. By the way, Pokemon Unite. It's bad. Like
The game's
Bill said,
bad.
It's just bad. Yeah, it's not good. It's busted. It's broken. There's not the tier list is fucked.
Gengar's OP.
Yeah, there
I mean,
are.
what did you expect from Nintendo and Pokemon, guys? Like, come on.
No, what did you expect
Come
from Nintendo and a MOBA?
Come on.
Well, I don't think Nintendo had very much say in all of this. I think that I forgot what's the name of the company that is doing it.
Niantic?
No, it's
Same.
Niantic.
No,
Niantic does
Game.
does
it-
Pokemon Go. Hold on, let me find the fucking name because I do want to know the name of this company. Game Freak.
Developed by
Game Freak,
Timmy
yeah.
Studio.
Game Freak. Yep. So they're gonna milk it, man. But whatever. I mean, hey, I don't know. It's not good. It's pay to win. So that's enough said on that. EA Play Live. I was gonna show a video for it. And EA Play Live came out. And EA Play Live had Battlefield 2042, Dead Space remake, and a couple other things. Those are the only two that really actually mattered, realistically, out of those. Battlefield 2042, I'm excited about. They showed Battlefield Portal, which, if you, how long is this fucking trailer? This is 2 minutes. We can show this. We can show these two trailers. All right, this is the Battlefield Portal trailer. We're gonna play it while we're talking. Essentially, Battlefield Portal, what it is Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3,
3? Yeah, 3.
and 2042, I believe. And they basically made it to where you can go in and be like, we want to do knives versus defibrillators,
Defibs,
or
yeah.
you can do, I want to do 1942, weapons and characters versus, and we're going to do like a mass army of, 120 or 128 people that are, from World War II times, but we're only going to give you 6 on the opposing side that is from this era, and they have today's tech. And like, you can create the game mode, you can create the whole, like, the you choose the maps, you choose the game mode, you choose the settings, you choose all this kind of, it looks fucking dope, man. Like,
Basically, it's Battlefield ADHD on crack.
it's not, man. Like
It is.
Well,
this
it is, but I think it's cool.
dude,
I
this
think
is a great idea. I mean,
that's not a bad thing.
like,
Yeah.
give the creators the ability, the power to the players to be able to say, like, hey, like,
I will say I do like the fact that they at least gave you the option and it's not just forced on you in
Yeah.
in the
yeah,
main
no
game.
one saying you
I
have
like
to
I
play
like
it
the
that
f-
way.
I like the fact
This
that
is all
it
for like
is
custom lobbies and
yeah
just
it
crazy things to
it is
do.
for like stupid shit that you could just do as a server owner.
Yeah.
But the fact that I can't get
This makes
behind
it so people don't have to like figure out a way to mod something like this.
Yeah.
this
I
My
it's
biggest
cool.
issue is, do you think this is going to split the player base up to thing? Because a lot of these, like multiplayer games, queue times get so long because the player base is split in so many different directions, and with this kind of thing being naturally put into the game, could it negatively impact that experience for like the base modes and stuff like that?
I think maybe if that would happen, it would happen at the start. But I think this is something that people will do for like leisure, and eventually they'll be like, all right, let's just play the actual game. Let's get to like the real game and just have fun with that. If we want to have one day where we goof around and do some crazy shit like this, we'll do it. But I think most people will go back to the real game.
I mean, I look at, so
Stupid watching
this is not the first one that has done this. Dota actually does this, and you can go play Dota official, which is a MOBA, right? Or they can go in and they have given basically the ability for people to go and tinker with Dota and do whatever they want, and then you can play Dota the way you want to, with all these weird fucking game modes. And it absolutely does not like split that player base.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
Dota was a mod to begin with. Like,
what
I
does that
can,
have,
I
what
can
does that
understand
have to
them
do with anything?
giving them. I can understand them giving you the ability to like fuck with it when it's a mod. I don't see a reason for it. Like you said, it's not. It doesn't give anything to the main game. There's no.
I think
No, I
absolutely
mean
nothing
it's
to do with the main game.
giving. It doesn't have to give anything to
Right.
the main game. It gives
It's-
people the option to have just another experience. To
I-
add
The
even
the
more.
only thing that I can say is that I'm glad that they're not charging you an extra fee for it.
Is that a dig at
That is
Rainbow?
cool.
Yes, 100%. That was a dig at Rainbow Six because I could see Activision doing it.
Yeah. Wait, this is not Activision though. So that's okay.
Or,
Yeah.
EA, that's what I
Yeah.
meant, yeah.
I don't know, man. I agree with Scruffy. I am on the side where I think that this is, why not, man? Give the ability to do it. I think that element, I will say that to me, I was like, you bastards. Like, people want Battlefield Bad Company 3. Like, they've been asking for Battlefield Bad Company 3 or a remake of Bad Company 2. And
Yeah.
you're just like, we'll get through the portal. Here you go. There's Bad Company 2.
Yeah.
But again, man, I think this opens up the world of what Battlefield can be. And I guarantee fucking to you that if you play at Enigma, that myself and Scruffy or you will find a mod or mode in this game that we will fall in love with and like or whatever and play it. I guarantee it. Like, I'm not saying it's always going to be like, I am not going to play defibrillators versus fucking knives. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But like that.
No.
I highly doubt it.
Oh my gosh! Did you guys
They-
ever
when
play
it- when-
Michael Myers though? In
Yeah,
in COD.
No.
yeah,
Dude,
absolutely. I played that.
You could
I-
recreate Michael Myers in this, and that would be so much fun.
I will tell you right now what I said before, which was I am sure that I will find something that I will like. If they can give me like a rendition or reimagination of 1942,
Yeah.
like completely, and get like Omaha Beach and everything
You
like
could
that.
literally just make a game.
100%. I will
1942
play
in
that.
this.
I
Yeah.
will play that. But the weird shit where it's like fucking robots versus jeeps with
I can
explosions on it. I'm
guarantee
just
you
like,
that there's
what?
gonna be people are gonna make servers that are just 1942, Bad
and I
Company
agree.
2
Right.
or 3 or whatever, and Battlefield 3. They're just gonna make those, or maybe not Battlefield,
And
whatever.
that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
will probably play those, and I said it when Portal first released. I was like, I will probably play something like that. I would love to
Yeah.
play something like that. But the weird shit where it's like
But I mean,
knives
Dude, I don't
versus
know, man. That-
defibs.
listen,
that
you
gets
might
like,
have
oh,
a
good, bro.
weird day where you're just like, all right, let's just play casually, play something goofy, and you have that option too.
the cool. So I was like, okay, this is all cool until I saw that moment where they showed the two things that people created, where one of them was, like I said, this idea of like SEAL Team 6 behind the lines, dumped in. It's 6 people. They have like current tech gear where, you know, and they only have one life, one respawn, and that's it, against a wave of enemies that like they set up a control point behind the line, right? So they put the whole concept was there was one control point that Team A had to go get, and A was the 6 people against Team B that had 128 players, and everybody got one life. And that to me set up this whole element of like, oh fuck, man, like that's a whole different style. That's a whole different game. Like that's not Battlefield anymore. That is now like a completely different style game. And then also too, seeing the one where they had the tank and one person was a tank and the entire rest of the fucking team were all of these like little robots trying to like stop this tank. I was like, dude,
I found that dumb.
I think that's cool. I think it's cool. It's interesting.
Yeah.
My biggest concern is lobby splitting. I think this is going to make the meat and potatoes of the game chug just by because the lobbies are already massive to begin with in the base game. If you're splitting your player base amongst infinite possibilities on Portal, you're gonna increase queue times across the board. And I don't even think it's gonna be an issue at launch as much as it is for the longevity of the game,
Like
where
later
people
on, you know, when the player
abandon the
base is
main.
gone.
They
Yeah.
either abandon the main game for Portal or they abandon Portal for the main game.
Well, I don't know. I don't see that being as much. I honestly, I think
I can
mean,
understand
There's only
that
so many
fear,
people,
but
Sin.
I know, but you have people like Enigma that will never want to go to play Portal. You know, for the most part. So
I
he's
didn't
only.
say I will never
I
play
got it.
Portal. I
I'm
just
ki-
said I
oh
would
my
never
God.
play the dumb shit.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. So you're not gonna play like Portal in these dumb lobbies, but he will play those like that. That will be like those servers will be filled by people, and I mean they have like they're introducing their bot system. And again, look, I'm actually surprised. I'll go fucking turn on Battlefield 4 right now, and there is a shit ton of people still playing Battlefield 4. Battlefield 3, same thing. Like
None of the recent Battlefields have been good.
do what?
It's because none of the recent Battlefields have been good.
Yeah, but even still, I can go find. I'm just saying. I think that there's enough people. I don't think the server issue will be as big of a thing. You know, maybe I'm wrong,
We'll
but
see. Time will
I am
tell.
fucking excited and ecstatic for this. The other one,
That's my only downside. I'm with you. Let the people have what they want. If they want to do stupid lobbies, if they want to recreate old games, that's
at it.
great. But you need to focus on the new thing that you're pushing forward first. And I just have a feeling this is going to split the player base so much
Well-
that it's going to make
it
load
could.
times quick. It's going to make queue or slow. It's going to make queue times slow, and people are going to drift away from the game for something that's a little bit more like snappy. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Nobody wants to
gotta-
wade
we gotta
through
wrap it up.
a
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Moving on. They also announced this, which is Dead Space remake.
doesn't need to happen. But
yeah, I don't know.
We'll play it regardless.
Yeah, I am.
It's a PS3 game that's being remade for modern. I don't know. The game
But
didn't.
this is
age
a
that well.
remake, right? Not a remaster.
They're going the Resident Evil route with
Resident
it, where
Evil
they're
route.
rebuilding it from the ground up.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is going to be, since
Yeah.
with the Resident Evils, they were going from like a top-down perspective to third-person shooter. This is a third-person shooter to third-person shooter.
Right.
And I could see them like making some quality of life changes, but it's not like Demon Souls, where the core gameplay was clunky and unsatisfying, and then they refreshed it with new animations, new stuff like that. This game didn't age that badly. This game is still very like enjoyable to play even in a modern day. So
yeah,
it seems very much like an EA cash grab on the remake meta that's going on in horror games with Resident Evil. I hope that this spawns more like original Dead Space games going forward, but even the trailer seemed unimaginative, uninspired. It was just like your standard shit. but
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
It's either them cash grabbing on that or them trying to get one up on the original Dead Space development team, who has rebranded to their own studio and they're making a whole new game in the same like genre.
that was this one, right? That's the
That's the Callisto Protocol, yeah.
Um,
So EA used to own Visceral Studios. They dropped Visceral Studios after EA tanked Dead Space 3 by adding multiplayer and microtransactions and all that shit to it. And then the remnants of Visceral Studios has made this new studio. They're going into the Callisto Protocol. It seems scummy. I will probably still at least give it a try because Dead Space is one of my favorite horror franchises. But there's something off about it. And the fact that none of the original team members are working on the remake also leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
yeah, I think you said it best, and I've said it since the Last of Us. Like, why the fuck are you remaking the Last of Us? Why the fuck are you remaking this? Like, it's not far enough away from it.
Yeah.
I would have much rather had a Dead Space 4 or 3, 4, right?
Four.
We don't talk about Dead Space
Yeah.
3, but it does exist in the shadows.
Yeah. So,
Speaking of looking in the shadows, this is how you do a trailer. You don't just have like long cinematic shots down a hallway. You have actual substance, actual depth, actual like world building in your trailer. Like the thing that irritated me about the Dead Space trailer was it was just grabbing people with the Dead Space name and nothing else.
Ugh.
It didn't show
Ugh.
why they were remaking.
bro, I can't
Oh.
deal with shit going in people's like mouths and down. Like, nope. Same thing with Baldur's Gate, dude. That dude
That
getting...
shit looks wild to me. And
Bro,
I can't
you
wait
love
for it.
tentacles, man. That's fucking weird.
That's a day one purchase for me. The Dead Space remake, while I'll probably get it, nah.
Mm-mm.
Wait, so what is it? This is the Callisto?
This is the
This is
Callisto
the Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
This is the original Dead Space teams.
This
new
is what
studio,
everybody
new
thought
IP.
Dead Space 4 was going to be when they announced it at
Gotcha.
E3.
Okay, yeah, I didn't
Fun
see
fact,
this.
and we'll wrap up this segment because we got.
Say,
So,
boys, we got to
close
wrap
it.
up.
This is set in the PUBG universe.
What?
What?
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah. The player unknown about it, like that studio bought the team or owns the team that is making this, and it is extremely loosely set in the PUBG universe.
Where are we dropping,
believe it
boys?
or not.
Weird. Fucking weird.
Okay, moving forward.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So now moving on to what was supposed to be the meat and potatoes of this whole fucking thing. PC stuff. Hit it, Bill Enigma. Give us the highlights. little light.
Short and dirty. You wanna do a bill, or you want me to do?
So there's, I think, 8 states or 7 or 8
Yeah,
states right
I
now
think it's 7.
that have re-looked at their power budgets, re-looked at their energy saving budgets moving forward, and have made it so that there's a lot of clickbait titles out there that are saying that it's illegal to purchase. They're just making it so that you are unavailable to get high-powered PCs shipped from
Well, no,
retailers to the
they are actually banning them. The sites like Newegg. If you're in California, you have
They
a
will
ban.
cancel
you
your
cannot
order.
You can't even
Well,
order.
that's what I'm saying, but it's not like if you own a high powered PC currently, they're gonna come and like take it
Oh
away
yeah,
from
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. No, no,
No.
no.
You're not taking
I
my
mean, it's
fucking
what-
3090
you gotta
from me,
That's what,
bitch.
It's-
that's what a lot of people
You gotta
have been
smuggle
saying,
them
like,
in.
It's a slippery
like-
slope, man. It's a slippery slope.
It's 100% a slippery slope, but this isn't something that's new
Yeah,
entirely.
it's
I know,
it's 6 states: California, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. As of right now.
yeah, and I know Canada has had these kind of regulations for a very long time, where if a model specifically this is for pre-built PCs, they don't have any energy regulations on the parts specifically, but if you are say in like Canada and you try to buy a high-powered gaming PC, depending on what's in that PC and what the energy specs are for it, they may not be able to ship it to your area based on energy power budget.
The problem is it's so hard to get parts right now as is. Like everyone's going pre-built, so
Yeah,
you're kind of screwed
100%.
if you're in
It's
those
bad,
states.
man.
Yeah.
And
This is
like
this is
I
hilarious.
was saying before, there's some clickbait titles saying, "Oh, it's going to be illegal to own a high power PC in California." No,
No.
it's really not.
Hey,
That's
maybe
sensationalizing.
California's crazy.
Again, slippery slope, but yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if this spreads to a few other states. I'm just curious on how this is going to affect the PC market in general, considering if in some fucked up
So
reality, every single state has these kind of energy mandates. Like, what is the PC market gonna do?
So the worst part about it too is that like it's not just PCs. They're actually worsening it later this year, where the law is going to increase to encompass as well computers with high speed network capabilities, multi-screen notebooks, notebooks with cyclical behaviors. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Cyclical.
Cyclical. I don't know. My English is bad apparently. And monitors with like high refresh rates, like
Oh shit!
120 hertz.
All right, so I'm gonna have to hide
Like,
my drugs, my guns, and
yeah.
my computers. Got it.
And your computers and all your peripherals.
I'm
Everything,
fucked,
man.
boys. I am fucked.
Low key, end of the day, this is all brought on by crypto mining. Like, let's be completely honest
Well,
here.
no, this was not just crypto mining, because this all started back in 2016. This has nothing to do with the crypto mining. It's furthered upon by the crypto mining, but this was California back in 2016.
Well, California's fucking stupid anyway.
Well,
with some of
that's the
its
worst
laws and
part is that
California's
California,
rough.
just like smog checking. I don't know if you guys know about smog checking. I don't know if it's a
Yeah,
thing in some of your
I've
states.
heard about it.
The entire reason for and obviously it's a good reason for the environment and everything like that, but the whole reason why we have to have smog checks and smog detection on our vehicles is because of California.
Yeah.
Strictly because of California.
Dude, I have to
Yeah.
imagine that somebody is probably looking at my fucking power bill going, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and I mean, I don't even have that much stuff. Really, I mean, it's just lights and stuff.
My power bill really isn't that bad either, and I didn't know that this was something that was like back from 2016. Oh my
Yeah.
god, from 2016. But I guarantee it's the rise of crypto mining that is the reason that this is getting more like spread out throughout the country. There is very serious implications with the mass amount of crypto mining that's going on,
Well, the other
both environmentally and monetarily for
Yeah.
energy companies.
well, the other thing, a lot of people think that crypto mining is such a great thing, or crypto is such a great thing. It's really fucking bad for the environment. Like,
It's horrible for the
like,
environment.
it's terrible. But the other side of this coin is, guys, just keep in mind that like and we don't really like to get political in this, but the political rhetoric of whatever side you want to look at has been clean energy, clean energy, clean energy, clean energy. We got to go here. We got to go here. Like electric. They are turning off they are literally telling you can't have these PCs because they draw too much power, but yet you want everything on the fucking grid. Please tell me how are you planning on doing this? Because it just like you can't even let me power my PC now.
For me, it looks like an oversight, like a mismanagement in like old infrastructure that is not able to keep up with the power demands of the like present day and future. And this is like a band-aid fix for that.
This is just a form of control.
It's an overreaction.
Mm-hmm.
But
so, anyway,
we'll see how it goes. Like I said, this has been in Canada for a long time. Apparently, it's been in California for a while too, and it's not nearly as bad as some of the articles are making it out to be. You're not going to go to jail for owning a 3090 Ti.
It's crazy. So. It's not just PCs though. It's a lot of other stuff too. Like
yeah, it's part of a utilities bill. PCs are just considered a utility, but it's like space heaters, central air conditioning units,
pool like filters or pumps.
Yeah.
Anything
that draws large amounts of power.
What about a fucking Tesla? What about these people that are driving Teslas around?
Yeah, at the self chargers at their house.
I don't want to get too political, and I really don't, but that's one thing that cracks me up. Okay, so to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, or a background, right? Utah is based primarily off of coal power. Okay, entirely off of coal power. Actually, I think we have like a geothermal power plant at somewhere in like over in the northern portion of the state, right? But predominantly our power grid is based off of coal power plants, right? they've started to implement like electrical scooters and like electrical bikes and everything like that around, where you can go and just take the bike, right? Because they want to have force people, or not force people, but give people the ability to do, or to, get around the city with these electrical instruments, with these electrical vehicles, right? But it's still based off of power coal. They're still being recharged off of power coal.
So you just gotta be like Ohio and just run everything off corn.
Well, oh man, this is going way too deep. We
Yeah, like we need to get to the next
we can
portion.
move
Really,
on.
but
Your
all I'll say
PCs are
is,
being banned.
yeah, that's it. Hide your PCs, hide your wife, hide your guns, hide your drugs, hide your PCs.
wife.
They're coming in, they're snatching everybody up in the middle of
California
Mhm.
coming out. He ain't trying to grab
the night. Crazy,
everything.
man. It's crazy. Anyway, all right. Last 8 minutes of this show, guys, or a little bit over.
This might go long, man.
Yeah, we are gonna spend talking about a topic that needs to be in the light of day. It needs
just really quickly before we get into this. Again, new podcast link, anchor.fm/Prepatch Podcast. Check it out. Also links to all of our stuff, Spotify, Google Podcasts, everything. We're going to be getting into other podcast and other listening alternatives like what's called Apple Podcasts, I think is what it's called, or Apple Play. I don't know. I'm not a Apple guy.
Apple Podcast, someone.
It's just
Something like
it's
that.
Apple's podcast, Google's Pro podcast. You can find us all
At
We got
some
all the
point.
links now.
We might be on Apple. I'm not even sure. Go and look up Prepatch Podcast.
We're on
I don't
Google,
know.
right?
Maybe we're there.
We're on
We are
Google.
definitely on Google.
We're on
just don't
Google. I know
about
that.
Apple.
Yeah. So, that's
Cool.
because
There's that. Go and check it out. Again, anchor.fm/Prepatch Podcast. It should be in everybody's chat. I think Bill just popped them. So go and check that out. Take a listen. We've got all 30 episodes. We've got 30 episodes, I should say. I will be having the newest episodes updated as soon as I can. It's just taken an extremely long time to get everything transferred from MP4 to MP3. So it will be there probably
Everybody thank
today or
Enigma.
tomorrow or
Thank you, Enigma.
the next day. So
Appreciate it.
okay. So yeah, the last topic is something that needs to be talked about. It is very important, and it encompasses a lot more than just this one individual company, but just as a whole. But also to, like, again, not saying like if we didn't talk about it, nobody would be knowing about it. But it's just important to talk about. Like, it's just some bullshit. And what we're talking about is the Activision Blizzard stuff. Like, we have on this podcast talked ad nauseum about the length about Blizzard and Activision and the just driving themselves into a fucking hole, right? And we've always talked about it from a standpoint of like their game direction. We keep seeing people fucking leaving. We keep seeing, like, just exodus of talent and where WoW is going or whatever else. And for years and years and years, we heard about what was going to be the WoW killer, right? And the reality of it is that Blizzard and Activision are doing it on their own. But basically what's going on right now is this came out.
You live so long to become the villain.
Yeah. This came out literally as we were ending the show last week. We ended the show to me going on and pulling up the thing and being like, oh fuck, dude, like Blizzard's getting sued, or Activision is getting sued in the state of California. Which they've been sued before. So nobody thought anything of it.
I think my exact words were, they'll come out of it squeaky clean. It's Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
Like nothing's gonna happen to them.
They've been a 2-year-long investigation of harassment.
I didn't know it was going on that long. That investigation of it.
Yep.
Jeez.
It's been going on for a while.
There are 3 different firms, 2-year-long investigation per firm. This is on allegations of sexual harassment I hate that they call it a bro culture, because it's so much more than just a bro culture. This is just like a disgusting, like, just, I mean, there's no words to really describe some of the stuff that was talked about. Like, if you actually read through what this shit is and like what they're talking about, like what is going on in these, some of these lawsuits and accusations that are going on. But it's insane. And the thing about it was, like, it came out and then it was just, oh, well, it'll be pushed under the rug, or okay, whatever, we'll just come out, we'll make a statement. And Frances, I forgot her name. Frances, the fuck is her full name? if someone can find it, but they're like, she's in charge of like HR and like the career advancement and stuff like that. And she just basically said, "Oh, well, the stuff that's in here is just really they're twisting the words of what it is, and they're just really making it out to be worse than what it actually is." And it's like, I don't know how much more like what you're looking at, but like there is a lengthy amount of stuff that is in here, and this is all disgusting, and it was extremely tone deaf. Then after that, you had Bobby Kotick come out and like give his fucking rendition of what she just said, and it was just like, well, we're so bad that we're apologetic that we didn't recognize this, and we'll just have to do better. And gave like these things of what I looked at was just like, this is the most like non-empathetic, just most boilerplate bullshit. Someone wrote this for you. You could fucking care less statement of being like, yeah, okay, we hear you. We know, like, even the cheekiness of saying like every voice matters, which is engraved on Blizzard's like statue outside that says every voice matters. Using that line, like it's and just being like, oh yeah, well we're gonna hire people to investigate this.
Well,
And
they have a past of using that, like because like in the Blitzchung situation that happened about, I think it was like a year or two ago, right, where the esports guy came out and pissed off China, right?
Right.
Like the best thing that Blizzard themselves over the HQ over in California could be like was, well, every voice matters,
every
but it
voice
was like,
matters.
no, his voice didn't matter because you banned him.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like obviously you don't believe that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's so all of that, right? Then we go fast forward to Wednesday, yesterday, and the Blizzard employees are just like, Activision Blizzard employees are like, this is just fucking terrible. Like this, like what the fuck is going on? So they're just like, great. So 2,600. Keep in mind the staff. That is more than a quarter of their staff there. It's 10,000 employees I think are at the Activision Blizzard office. A quarter of them signed this petition and then walked out. Like they were just like, we're not working for 4 hours today. So you know what Activision does? They go in and say, oh, you know what? We're going to give you 4 hours of paid time off. Because that's what that's the concern. That's what they're pissed off about. Like that's what they're upset about, is that we're going to give 4 hours of paid time off. Like, again, this whole thing has just been completely like tone deaf and just like frantically trying to sweep it under the rug. But it's encompassing more and more.
And then the rug sweeping is being leaked as well. So
right. Like
Yep.
and the thing that's crazy is that have you guys read the I don't know if you read some of the stuff that is going on with this, but like one of them, the letter there that like specifically dictates what they're asking for, like what these employees are asking for. They're not asking for the fucking.
I've got it right here.
They're not asking for the world to be changed, man. They're asking for.
They're asking for 4 things, legitimately. The first, they want an end to mandatory arbitrary clauses in all employees' contracts, current and future, arbitration clauses protecting abusers and limiting the ability of victims to seek restitution. Wow. Yeah, again, can't talk today, apparently. Number 2, the adoption of recruiting, interviewing, and hiring and promotion policies designed to improve representation among employees at all levels, agreed upon by employees in a company-wide diversity, equity, and inclusion organization, which I have my own opinions about that, but I won't get into them.
Basically a union, right?
Yeah. Current practices have led to women, in particular women of color and transgender women, non-binary people, blah, 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 marginalized groups that are vulnerable to gender discrimination not being hired fairly for new roles when compared to men. Publication of data on relative compensation, including equity grants and profit sharing, promotion rates, salary ranges for employees of all genders and ethnicity at the company. Current practices have led to the aforementioned groups not being paid or promoted fairly. And fourth and last, the empowerment of a company-wide diversity, equity, and inclusion task force to hire a third-party audit ABK reporting structure, an HR department, and an executive staff. It is imperative to identify how current systems have failed to prevent the employee harassment and to propose a new solution to address these issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the ones that I think a lot of people look over is the arbitration one. This is the thing that a lot of companies have in place, And it needs to be very clear across the board what that means. And the only thing that protects is the company. Like arbitration is solely there to protect the company. And so it keeps it from people that are in a situation where they feel harassed, where they feel like they've been taken advantage of or done wrongly, to be able to go to litigation first. To basically say, you know what, you fired me for fucking, disability. I've gone through this. You fired me because of disability.
Yeah.
I'm suing. And if you don't look close enough into your contracts, and inside that contract it goes, nope, you arbitrate first. That means that I sit in a room paid for by the company with lawyers from the company, that I am then sitting there trying to fight my case as to why I am, right and they are wrong. All supported by the company. So just like, that is a fucking huge atrocity, like huge atrocity. First and foremost, like it, and to sit there and to have that, 9 times out of 10, you don't usually see it as much in a massive organization like what you would have with Activision Blizzard, because it is such a massive thing. And most times, most people go, this is fucking bullshit. How they got away with it for this long is a shocker to me, when it comes to this kind of stuff. But like the other things, man, I mean,
they had high end people and reporters covering up for them. That's how they got away with it.
Well, yeah, is it because they're pulling in like now, like this is also pulling in people that like knew about it.
Yeah, like like the biggest one that well, it didn't really crack me up, but it does kind of, because I'm not a big fan of him. But Jason Schreier was kind of the whistleblower for this entire thing, right? He kind of popped off what was happening to begin with. Well, today he kind of let slip that he knew about this for the last like 2 years. Like he's known about these harassment situations going on for 2 years, and he didn't report on it.
Yeah,
because he wanted to stay in the good graces of Blizzard and Activision, and that's ridiculous to me. So he sits there and says that he's willing to, he's not going to hold in any information, but then he holds information.
And he wasn't the only one.
And he's not the only one.
I mean,
He's
You have hired people up in the Blizzard franchise that people loved and adored that are like, oh, I left because I knew about it. Well, fucker, if you knew about it, why did you not do something about it, right? Why did you not?
It does make a lot of sense why we've had so many exoduses over the past like year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is going all the way back to like Chris Metzen, like who, everybody like kisses the ground Chris Metzen walks on, of being like the WoW guy, but like he knew about it, and he openly says, he's like, I knew it was there, I sensed it, I left because of it. Well, leaving doesn't do anything. Leaving only leaves people there that are getting abused to continue to be abused. Like, you should be held just as much accountable. Like, if you knew that shit was going on and didn't say anything to do, or while you're there to fucking stop it, you know what I mean? Like, and the pay stuff or whatever else, like, there are people that are saying like that they've seen, and again, this is, we all have, like, I've not personally been able, none of us have, that I know of, have been fucking seen the documents that show this, but like, I have to believe that the lawsuit is not based on frivolous bullshit, like, that are saying like, side by side, if you're a guy, if you're a dude, if you're, whatever else, buddy in that club, your pay is substantially higher than what this person over here is. That is,
I don't know if those have been proved. Like, there's a lot of them that have come out with that, but I don't think that there's been too much proof of that. They can't show actual hard evidence because it's so backwards and forwards with pay grades and shit.
What we can say though is that there is a blatant thing that I have a problem with, where you have massive amounts of layoffs, and then your fucking CEO Bobby Kotick, and I'm sure a bunch of other
100%.
people get a goddamn raise.
Well,
or
not
bonus.
Just that.
Bonus,
Not just that. 800 layoffs. He gets a huge bonus, and then they rehire all 800 of those 6 months later.
Right.
At a lesser rate.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
I mean, this is
and technically that's against the law in a lot of countries. Like they got in a lot of trouble for that, because a lot of those 800 layoffs that Bobby got his raise from were in the UK, and that's against UK labor laws. I mean, you technically under UK labor laws, you have to, if you lay somebody off for a specific reason, you have to then, if you're going to rehire this for the same position, you have to give those people the option of coming back to work for you in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to what I understand, at least. I don't live in the UK, but from what I read at that point, that was what
well, I mean, just for human fucking ethics and indecency, man. Like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? Like, but I mean, this is a big enough point to the fact that they have halted pretty much production and work, right, on anything. I know that they're doing Diablo 2 or 3, the remake or whatever, remaster, whatever. the fuck
It's
it is.
halted World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Nothing else is halted. I misspoke on that. I thought that the entirety of Blizzard had been halted. But no, it's legitimately
WoW, I
just
think.
World of Warcraft development is at a complete standstill. There is
Yeah,
nothing.
so I thought Overwatch 2 and Diablo 2 remake
Yeah,
are still going.
all of those
through.
are still going. It's literally just World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
As it is
That's-
right now.
that's huge
still
still. I
fucking
mean, as
massive,
of
man.
right
like
now,
that
that's
is
exactly.
crazy.
like the only world I don't know, man. I don't know if like this is enough for Activision to cut, which it shouldn't, because Activision is just as much fault, like whatever else, but to cut Blizzard and be like, I'm out, like cutting ties, we're done, like we're done with this. But
The
I don't
one
know.
that really got me, right, and we were talking about it a little bit in the podcast chat today, was the Cosby Suite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That shit was
I
disgusting.
didn't get
That's
to
crazy.
what was I didn't
So
get to
their
read about that.
creative director, Alex, I'm gonna murder his last name, but fuck this guy. His name's Alex Afraziabi, I think is how you pronounce it.
good enough.
He was a senior creative director of World of Warcraft, a former senior creative director of World of Warcraft, and while he was at, I think it was the 2010 BlizzCon, one of the
2000
BlizzCons,
2013
his
is what I'm seeing on
it
here.
was in 2013, yeah.
Yeah.
One of his room was known throughout the company as being the Cosby Suite,
Yeah,
where he took girls and employees to kind of sexually assault them, make derogatory comments towards them. He brought in other people, other higher ups in the company, other, schmoozing other companies and everything like that. Brought him in there. It was a booze filled room where they had women and employees, and it was just gross. And the worst part about it that I think gets me so fired up is that J. Allen Brack allegedly had multiple conversations with him about it and just gave him verbal counseling. He knew about all of it and didn't come forward. And that's ridiculous.
Bro, this
that's fucked up.
this is this is just disgusting, man. Like this is
Yeah.
just, as much as
It allegedly, from what I'm reading, like back in 2010, the BlizzCon panel included Jalen Brack and a Frosby or whatever his name is, and Jalen Brack told him, hey, could you please tone down your sexualization of the female characters?
Just tone it down.
Just tone it down just a little bit.
Well, I know that they've taken it out of their. I know immediately stuff has been removed from WoW and some of their games.
Well, and then that's one thing that cracks me up as well, is like they had Swifty. Swifty got in trouble a while ago, right, for an allegation of sexual misconduct with a I don't know if it was with a player or if it was with somebody, but they removed his stuff out of that game without even investigating it, right? But this guy, this Alan, or this Frosby or whatever his name is, had a character, I guess, in the game that he voiced, and they kept it in there for years and years. I think they just barely removed it.
I don't know. Again, man, this is just.
But the biggest part is that like Swifty got exonerated,
Right.
and they still didn't add him back into the game.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just like I said, it's fucking gross. It's just fucking. I mean, this is just.
Glad it's all coming to light now. Like it should have a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean,
and I want to go ahead and go on the record and say, don't if you don't feel the need to stop playing Blizzard Activision games, don't feel obligated that you need to strike these games, because at the end of the day, the game is made majority by people who actually give a shit, who are actually decent people that are just trying to make the best thing that they can and actually have passion for it. It's a very slim majority of the Blizzard staff that is in a bad way with this kind of stuff. And basically, if you can separate the art from the artist, don't let anybody make you feel bad about enjoying these games.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I've seen a lot of people coming onto like streamers and being like, "Why are you fucking playing this game? This is disgusting.
There's a big
you are a disgusting person for playing World of Warcraft." It's like, why am I?
Well, they're a disgusting person for playing World of Warcraft for other reasons.
Why? It's like why are you associating me with these terrible fucking excuses for human beings?
Right.
Just because I play
There's
a fucking
big harassment
video game.
campaign going around online right now with anybody who is enjoying World of Warcraft, Overwatch,
Yeah,
That's just
any of these
wrong,
kinds
man.
of games. And
it's
like,
crazy, man.
Yeah.
I understand the outrage. I understand the passion for wanting justice for what's going on, but attacking innocent people that are just trying to enjoy something that they've been enjoying for years, like leave the people that have nothing to do with it out of it.
Yeah, because
it-
and it-
Don't
don't
stand on a high horse like I'm better than you because I'm taking a stand against Blizzard by not playing their game.
you don't want to
And you
let
should
these
do that
people,
too.
you know, these Blizzard CEOs and employees that are doing the things that they're doing. You don't want to let them ruin something for
Well,
you. Don't give them that power.
The
You know?
the flip side, and I'm not saying I am disagreeing with you. The flip side of that is I do understand where not attacking other people that are playing it, but like the saying of like stopping playing those things, because the problem is that the money that you're paying into Blizzard is, yeah, you could trickle it all the way down or whatever, but realistically that money is going directly into the fucking pockets of these CEOs, of going into the pockets of these people that are doing this shit, that are letting this shit happen. So it is a catch-22. Not in any way, shape, or form should you ever harass somebody because they're doing something, whatever. That's
No.
that's their God-given fucking
Then
right to do whatever they
you're
want to
part
do.
of the problem at that point.
You know, yeah, you are becoming a problem. You spread awareness, you let them know about it, and they make the decision. If they decide to do something different than what you or decide or whatever else.
Well, and I kind of don't even agree with that. Like going out and randomly spreading that oh, why are you playing this game? This happened. Like I get where you're coming from with it, but like if people just want to ignore that and play the game that they enjoy and they want to fucking play, don't go into their chat and fucking.
Well, no, I'm not saying that
spread
there's
the
no.
toxicity.
At least
Right.
if you do that, don't expect them to
Exactly.
don't expect them to make a change just because you said something. But like,
I'm not saying that there's any grounds for anybody to be harassed. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
I understand people that are saying like, hey, like, do not play Blizzard games. Like, yes,
I get it.
we just gotta be nice to each other and accept what we want to do because we have
I
fun
haven't
with
played
it.
Blizzard game in like. Oh, that's not true. I played when when you forced me to play stupid fucking. Well, you don't force me, but you talked me into
Classic.
playing fucking Classic, which I was against completely, but I did it anyways to play with my buddies. But yeah, no, I haven't fucking really played a Blizzard game for real in like
yeah, I
2
don't know.
years.
Like I said,
I gave that shit up, man. Like a long time ago.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same kind of principle thinking as to why Enigma has been so staunch against Epic. And really, I mean, I don't play
Yep.
Epic games, like I don't,
Yeah.
or whatever else. It's what if you understand and believe in it, man. Like that's
We all
fine.
have our
The
reasons
morals,
for
man.
what we do and
Yeah.
what we don't do. I mean,
The morals, man.
But
Yeah.
it's not saying that somebody, like, we're not going to go to somebody that's playing Epic. Like, obviously, we will go
Yeah.
to the Scruffy and then be like, why the fuck are you supporting Epic? Like, fuck Epic.
En-
Like, we will-
Enigma. Well, I
we
mean,
will- we will
Enigma's
say-
kinda done that.
I do that to Scruffy.
Enigma's done that to me.
we
We're
will
not gonna do that to some rando.
But it's just,
That's because I know I can give fucking Scruffy shit.
I mean, the thing
Yeah.
about it is, like, I understand if you say something, it's, again, like, you have the right to say something. If you say something and someone disagrees with you, they disagree with you. Just leave it there. It's it.
Yeah.
You guys are at different ends of the spectrum. But like, I don't know, man. This shit,
It's tough. It's just like
this shit fucking sucks, dude. This
just
is
all long. Damn it, just be nice.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
something needs to happen, man. And I'm really hoping that this
Yeah.
is not like. I swear to God, they better not fucking come out of this like fucking like squeaky, man. They better.
I don't think they will.
Not.
I like 100% with how it's going down right now. I when it first started, I thought that they were going to come out of it squeaky clean. I was looking at it like this is just going to be another EA with their loot box controversies. They're going to get a little slap on the wrist, and that's it. But the further and further and further this goes down the rabbit hole, I don't think that they can come away squeaky clean from this.
I mean,
think
realistically,
so.
I don't know, man. Like, I want to see Bobby Kotick fucking gone. I want to see J. Allen Brack gone. I want to see.
Yeah, but the problem is like getting rid of Bobby Kotick isn't going to do anything. They're just
He's a
gonna put
dude. He's a
another-
douchebag. He's a fucking
he
asshole,
is a douchebag,
man.
100%. I agree with you, but they're just going to put somebody just like him back in place. It's
Yeah,
just
I
going
don't
to
know,
be
man. It still gives you-
another
it's-
shitty fucking CEO.
Not
put in place
necessarily.
that's
It still
looking
gives
for
you a fucking
money.
chance to like actually do
It's-
something
there's
right,
still a
dude. Like,
chance at that
It's
point.
Activision. There is no chance. If there was a chance, they would have put him in place already.
not necessarily, man. Dude, Bobby Kotick is. I don't know. I can't stand him, dude. He is one of the fucking like. I fucking can't.
I do agree with you though. I do think that a lot of these people need to be removed and replaced because this is ridiculous that they knew about it for 2 years and did nothing about it.
Honest to God, what would make my fucking day would be, and this happened whenever I think Activision actually did the fucking 800 layoffs or whatever. When we had that like spree a couple years ago where like everybody was getting laid off, like everybody, like or whatever. They were the companies that said, you know what, open the doors. Come on, we need people. Like open those fucking doors. I would love right now for companies that actually are legit. In fact,
I think Ubisoft gave like their word and their condolences and shit on like the topic. I don't know if they're opening their doors or not,
dude.
But I think it would be smart if they did. I think that'd be a nice thing.
Ubisoft doesn't really have any place to fucking talk about sexual harassment situations, considering they're still under investigation for one themselves.
Are they? I
didn't
know that.
But I'm just saying, I would love to see these companies open their doors, and then fucking Activision Blizzard go to fucking shit and just fucking go. I'm sorry, but fucking go goddamn belly up, man. Like, I'm sorry. I there's very few times where I wish for a company to fucking go out of business, but let me tell you something. Like, this is fucking trash. It is terrible, and Bobby
it is going to be interesting to see what they do with Blizzard if they release Blizzard as an IP, or if they're just going to absorb it. I personally think they're just going to absorb it. It's just going to go away. Blizzard won't be a thing really anymore if they give into it. Like this is all
Activision will be fine plagued.
Activision will be fine. Blizzard will be the one that takes the fall for it 100%. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. Is like I'm curious to see if they just get rid of Blizzard, filter off all the employees in Blizzard back into Activision, because most of them are already Activision employees. There's not a whole ton of fucking Blizzard employees that still work there.
Overwatch 2 about to be developed by Activision.
About to be developed by like Treyarch or some shit.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, like the asset sell off if, like, hypothetically Blizzard did go belly up and they had like close.
No.
Like
I'm curious to see what happens. I'm curious to see what happens with that because technically Blizzard, World of Warcraft is I think the second or third biggest money into Activision right now. I think that Call of Duty
Mobile is their largest.
Call of Duty Mobile is their largest, and then I think that I think that like Candy Crush or some shit is their second.
Yeah, Call of Duty Mobile is the number one. Either way, man, this is fucking garbage, and it's not going to stop.
It's like, not. Yeah, I was going to say it's going to keep going. And
the thing about this, the fallout from this, which is proper fallout. Like the fallout from this is going to fucking like, and it should go through. And I guarantee you, man, there are a lot of companies right now that are like, oh fucking shit, like this, because this is stuff where it's like the second that some of these high powered CEO, all these people get started finger pointing, guess what? They're going, oh, I know I'm bad, but you should go look at this company because they're worse, right? Like this shit's about to go fucking tits up.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was laughing about Ubisoft. Is like they really legitimately have no fucking room to talk, considering I think it's their Montreal.
It's
correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's their Montreal studios.
I wonder if they came out and said what they said because of that. Then
maybe they might be trying to virtue signal for it, but like they have no room to fucking talk, considering they legitimately have close to the same thing that's going on. Like I don't think that they've had anybody commit suicide due to it, but
no, and they've released all of the people in the lawsuit from the company, but the company's still dealing with like reparations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's again, just hold on, buckle in, fucking get ready, because this shit's about to fucking get heavy. Mom spaghetti on my sweater already, all that kind of shit.
Oh yeah, good finish.
Yeah. Anyway, as much as we don't like to end on a bad note, we're gonna end on a good note, guys. And it's not a bad note. It's bad in what's happening. I'm very happy that this shit is getting out there and there is going to be a stop to it, right? At least I fucking hope there's a stop to it, man. Like,
yeah, it's at least a start.
Yeah. So let's talk about what's coming up this week for the members of the podcast. If you don't mind me kicking off,
go for it.
So as some of you guys may know, Saturday, normally I don't stream on Saturdays, but Saturday I turned 35.
Did we ever sing happy birthday?
I don't think any happy birthday happened.
Do we do it?
No.
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 Happy
No.
birthday
No.
to
Mute it.
you.
Mute
I
it.
appreciate
Get
it.
rid of it. Shut it down.
To you.
I
Happy
appreciate
birthday to-
thanks. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm actually going to be celebrating a belated birthday stream.
You look like one too.
Tomorrow, starting around noonish time, probably like 12:30, 1ish, just to be on the safe side. 24-hour stream, birthday stream. Be there. I know Enigma's going to show up. Scruff's going to show up. Bill, I hope you show up. And we're going to be playing a bunch of different shit, tribes, all of the, all this stuff, man. There's so many games on the docket.
I work tomorrow, but after work I'm down.
Yeah.
We'll correlate the tribes play for when you get on.
Yeah.
We'll
That sounds
correlate
great.
the
I would like
tribes.
Yeah.
We'll blow the horn.
I'm going to
Yeah,
need
we'll-
all
I
of
would
We'll
like that a
take the
lot.
fight to the Jotuns.
I'm gonna need all of you guys there to keep my fucking old 35-year-old ass awake. Because
arms,
I
brothers.
just can't do it like I used to.
Let's go.
But yeah, so that's happening tomorrow, guys. 24-hour stream. Scruff,
Yep.
what do you got on the docket, man? What's coming down your way?
Oh man, I think just that. I'm enjoying it with that. Because when I get off work tomorrow, I'll be joining you as soon as I can, and probably ending around the same time you do. I don't think other than that, there's not much more that I'm doing. Just playing tribes and more Ascent. I plan on bringing in Kingdom Hearts back soon. As funny as crazy it may sound, I got hard stuck in Kingdom Hearts 1, and next time my sister comes over, actually, she's gonna help me out because she's also got stuck at that part, so she's gonna help me
Where
out.
are you
And
at right now?
the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 at I can't remember the name of that world. It's
Because it doesn't matter.
it does. But like the last world in Kingdom Hearts 1, and I'm not even stuck on a boss or anything. I'm literally just lost. I'm going in circles. I'm going crazy.
Bro,
doing it.
Gotcha.
Sin legitimately hates Kingdom Hearts as much as I hate Epic. Like,
Yeah.
legit.
That's true. That's true.
It's not. You're
But
not.
anyways,
I'm not.
that'll
I
be coming
actually
back for
think
me.
he might hate Kingdom Hearts
I do.
more than I hate Epic.
100%.
Probably.
I call all you guys that like Kingdom Hearts Key Boys. That's what your new names are. Key Boys. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You and Disney.
You can suck my dick.
Yeah, well, you fit right in there with fucking Disney, buddy. Anyway, that's good. I'm happy you're finishing your stupid fucking game.
Anyways,
yeah.
that's it for me though.
Enigma, what you got going on, bud?
Again, I'm gonna be joining you as soon as I can tomorrow. Probably play some more Tribes of Midgard, some more Ascents for sure. I think we got some. What's it called? Red Solstice coming up too. That's gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
Red Solstice is
Tomorrow,
gonna be
Red
good,
Solstice,
yeah.
and
Red
if we want, we
Solstice.
can even get up into Warhammer, Martyr,
Yeah,
right?
got
Hell
that,
yeah,
yeah.
I do want to play that.
Yeah.
New World closed beta. I definitely want to try and get at least to the first dungeon, like at least to the first dungeon, to try it out.
Yeah.
At the very least.
What's the level for
other
that?
than-
25, right? I think.
Yeah, 25 I think is.
Yeah.
You can get in there earlier, but 25 is like the minimum that you need
I got 4 levels I
without
gotta
getting
get.
like a carry.
Okay.
Other than that, I've got a new game coming out or that's coming up that I want to check out. It's called Thunder Tier 1.
Oh yeah.
Another-
Fuck.
Oh, I
Another-
just got in the opening.
Another
That's gonna happen.
top-down
It's
isometric.
gonna happen tomorrow
Yeah.
too.
Yep, I'm gonna be playing that quite a bit. Probably be streaming that sometime next week for sure.
Cool.
Hopefully getting back into some streams now that my back's starting to feel a little bit better. So
Nice.
we got a lot of fucking games to play this
A
month,
lot,
guys.
dude.
I've
Eldest
got
Soul
ton
came
of
out too.
games.
Fuck, dude. Like half the games I looked at my fucking wish list was like, it's coming out now. I'm like, God damn
Now
it,
we
man.
got the,
Oh,
like
also, Death Trash comes out August 5th. That
Oh,
game that I
wow.
talked about a few.
Yeah. Doesn't
Everything
I
is
think,
out.
I
games,
think
dude.
Naraka. I swear
Like-
to God, I think Naraka comes out in a week too.
August-
I think
Yeah.
it does.
Which Bill I know is
Like-
excited for. Bill, I know
Like
you're excited for.
legitimately, I think because of the whole COVID situation, everybody had to push everything back, and now everybody's just like, okay, floodgates open, everything get released.
Yeah, I'm excited for Naraka. I'm actually probably going to pre-order that when it
It'd
gets
be
a
so
little
good,
closer to launch, and probably hit that real heavy. That game was a lot of fun. I wish I would have gotten into it sooner.
Bill, bring us home. What do you got going on?
We're finishing. Oh well, first off, going to join you for your birthday.
Yeah.
Tribes of Midgard. They're going to be finishing up the knife only run on Resident Evil Village hardcore, and then we are going to be hopping back into the Final Fantasy VII remake run that we were doing. Try to get that game finished so we can try hard mode out.
We're gonna be playing some more Billy the Spud in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. Gonna be doing that on the YouTubes
Cool.
mainly. I think I'm gonna try to make that a YouTube specific game. We'll see how it does. I don't know what's going on with MMOs on YouTube. I don't know if it's a bad market or not, but we'll see.
Probably a bad
Final
market,
Fantasy is
but
probably just rough right now.
you do you, boo boo. You do
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make sure you guys go out and follow this man on YouTube. By the way, he's the only one that's putting out YouTube content. So
True.
Billy
Hey,
true.
thank you guys.
underscore the
Go
underscore-
follow the Pre-Patch Podcast one as well.
No, fuck,
Pre-Patch
that.
team.
No, fuck that one.
Yeah.
Which by the way, you can find it at our link anchor.fm/Pre-Patch Podcast.
There it is.
Ooh.
I gotta get that as
Got
a,
it.
I gotta get that as a
Ah.
button on here so I can just be like, what the hell? And just make it.
What
Make it a
the
button. Anyway, guys, amazing show. Chat, thank you guys always for being here across all the channels. And then again, if you are listening to us and you can find us, where, Enigma?
Anchor.fm/Pre-Patch Podcast. That was Yanni.
How you gonna fuck that up, man? Anyway, you guys have an amazing night. We will see you
Good night, everybody.
next in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Bye, guys. We
I
Bye.
Installation.